ringy as it.
Every time.
Usually there's a cameo of Seamus doing it.
That's true. Okay, so welcome back.
Thank you.
Last time we played, it was a pretty interesting session. We started off with everyone receiving letters from Cora, essentially semi-apologizing / saying goodbye / just saying things to everybody as a way to depart with the overwhelming guilt from sentencing Ombre to a 30-year purgatory sentence. She couldn't bear to look at the people who loved Ombre, and so she departed the group. But also, Silex, your old friend, and Kree came back along with Silex's mother on horseback. Told you all of a destruction that happened in Fort Darien at the hands of Orion after he came back. When Silex arrived, you noticed he had a scar, a patched over an eye, a new metallic arm and leg, freshly forged, to say the least. And then after a few moments of catching up, you noticed that there was a rumbling sound upstairs, and the house started to crack, and you heard a roar. And Wrath had lost his mental battle with Antagalon, who took back over his body. And a fight ensued. Antagalon rightfully destroyed most of the house during the fight, but was ultimately slain after a long and grueling combat. And Antagalon fell. And as he fell down, you all noticed his body changed back into Wrath as he hit the water down below on the cliffside. And that's where we pick up this week, with Wrath's body floating into the water, the rest of you all standing in the rubble of the destruction of the house. And some of you still just hovering above in the air.
Was anyone still falling? If I remember correctly?
I don't think so.
So I'm about to still be falling. I'm gonna go jump after Rat's body.
Okay. Okay, so Rat's body has hit the water and you're jumping in, like diving?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do an acrobatics check to see how well you can dive and hit the water without
10.
taking too much damage.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I see why you would make that call.
Reasonable. Yeah.
I can see why you would make that.
Everyone's a natural diver.
21.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't take any damage as you spread the water perfectly with your hands as you dive through.
I'm a graceful bitch.
You're a graceful
I just
fish.
dived so well on top of Rat's body.
Yeah, you'd actually dive so well you just penetrate through Rat's body.
Whoops.
He's a little guy. No, obviously kidding. But you're able to dive in, and you can reach his body with ease. His body's kind of floating, like it fell a bit, and then it's just kind of floating weightlessly in the water.
So I'll retrieve it and then climb myself back up.
Yeah, you do a little flutter step, and you get yourself back to the surface. The rest of you all see breaching the surface of the water, Rat's body first, being held up by Xeris, and then Xeris following Sword.
How much of the house is destroyed?
What's the status of my room?
Yep, status of my room.
Yourself as bitches. Most of the house is destroyed. So the entire second floor has been kind of crushed in. I'd say your room
You know
is
I'm asking.
Your room is pretty much still okay. So when you think of the house, the part that was facing closer to the cliff is where most of the damage is.
Yeah, my tree's good.
The tree and yours, which was also kind of in that front part of the house, your little triangle, most of that has been relatively unharmed. And your room is technically a pocket dimension anyway, so it can't really be affected by this. So you're probably safe no matter
Just wanna
what.
make sure that-
The rest of you guys,
Was
your
there
room
still
is,
lava in the house?
no, most of that is after he died, the heat kind of fell from that lava and it turned into the crusted rock.
I would like to check on my mother.
Yeah, make an investigation check to find it.
I would like to check on the body of my daughter, but I assume that's okay if you're pocket dimension. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can still go check.
Yeah, I go.
Maybe she got up and walked away,
No, I just want to make sure there was no like, you know.
White Walker style.
16.
She opens her eyes and they're blue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Figures.
God.
16.
Yeah.
She would have been in my room.
Yeah, that would have been the smart place to be, yeah. So you go to your room and you look through, you start pulling back rocks and rubble and destroyed pieces of the house. And you don't find her body. You don't see her in here.
Is my forge door open? So my room has like a normal office with a bed and stuff. Sort of, it's fairly spacious, but it was more like an office with a bed.
But yeah, your room wouldn't be destroyed because you're back in the tree.
Yeah, I'm right next to
You're like
the tree.
underground.
Yeah, it leads to my forge, so
Yeah, but you're fine.
that's why I was asking. I don't know if my room is.
Those botanicals and bugs got squished.
It's not so much heavily.
Botanical anymore.
But yeah, so I mean, is my room destroyed or is it?
No, yours wouldn't be.
Okay.
So you walk in and you see a lot of your old belongings. This is the first time you've been back in your room since you came home. So you kind of see how you left it in the most part, but you don't see your mother. You know?
Oh. Is my forge door open? What forge that leads down the stairs?
I wouldn't say so. No,
Okay.
that can really only be opened by you.
Can I search the house for my mother?
Yeah. So if you're making a general check, we'll still use that 16.
Okay.
I was still
Um,
next to you at the end, right?
Yeah, we were all,
So-
what I remember is we were all kind of like right there in that half broken part, and it was like all of
I can
us.
cast locate on
I mean,
her.
let's just look for her first.
Okay.
Hopefully, I mean, she's not in the house, then we can do that.
Okay.
But let's
Say this one.
say it feels like we have to travel today or if we're doing anything else today.
Free will eventually float his way into the building.
And while I'm doing that, can I like start the construction of the house? Is that what?
Yeah, you guys actually notice as you start like walking through the home, pieces of the house just start to like kind of hover and start to place themselves back where they belong.
I don't know if it needs direction.
Just
or not,
mindlessly,
but,
no,
like,
it starts just repairing itself as you start walking through. You start to see some of the structure, the first floor start to levitate as other pieces come and create the support underneath, and you see the house start to repair itself. It's not fast and rapid,
it is-
like you
but
would
it
see.
is repairing.
Yeah, it is taking its time, but doing it.
We need to name the house.
What?
So I think we need to
We
name
need to
it.
name the house.
Misfit Manor.
It's a
Ooh, there you
living
go.
thing at this point.
Charlie.
Charlie. And then. Let's call
I
it
mean,
that.
it's sexy.
Yeah, so I'll just search the house.
Okay.
And anything else I find of interest that doesn't belong in the house.
It doesn't belong in the house. Interesting.
I mean, things might have changed since I've been gone, so.
Yeah. There's a weird like padded room that you don't remember seeing.
Y'all keep a prisoner. I don't know.
Oh, that was by design. Person staying in it.
Jesus Christ.
Souls
Christ.
Yeah,
Soul Sons. Yeah, so you look around. It takes you a while to kind of get sorted, and the longer it takes that you can't find your mother, the more panicked you start to look around, and the more frantic you become. So you become a little less sharp-minded as you're trying to look through. But nevertheless, you make your way through the home, and you get to where the war room is. And this particular room was on the second floor,
Yes.
and it was at the front of some of the initial attacks from Antagalon. And as the house starts to repair itself and these pieces of the home start to levitate and move and change, you hear the whimpered sound of someone as the rock lifts. You hear, "Ugh," and you look down and you see your mother, who's underneath one of these rocks, who's sitting there panicked as she was leveraged underneath where there was multiple stones of the concrete that were being held up that seemed to have caught this piece that was slamming down on top of her. And she looks relatively unharmed but terrified.
Okay. I'll run over and are you okay? And moving the rocks as I can.
No?
That was unexpected. Did not know. But
You don't just keep dragons in here, son.
as I was informed, it was someone. It was a person first. Something. This is a very wild.
She's gonna lean in and give you kind of like a quick hug, and to everyone else looking, it just looks like a mother embracing her child. And then she leans in and says, "Any of your other friends dragons?"
They have the power to turn into them, but by choice, not by force.
So yes.
I admit that I travel with a dangerous bunch. We are.
To say the least.
I won't destroy
We are.
Latino.
I'm just as dangerous, and you are safe here, and I shall show you the forge where you'll be even more safe.
There's a moment where when you say like you're safe, it seems like a weight hits her and she just starts sobbing.
And then are the chairs back in the room, or
Eventually, I mean they're making
I'll sit her in a chair.
the chairs are building themselves back up,
And
IKEA style, one little piece at a time.
give her some tea and just try to like.
No, the kitchen's moving.
Small mouse with a wizard.
Padded or safe?
Pat her in the safe.
No, it's not.
Why
I don't think that'll help. Mother who just lost her whole family, I don't think padded room is probably a good environment for that.
Probably the best.
No, you just start telling her what dragon. She's like, the dragon. It's like the house is putting itself back together. It's like, the house is fine.
Mom, there was no explosion. Just give her some tea. Try and calm her a bit. I think.
She's
I mean, it's not much to do other than let her work through it, but
I mean, there's definitely a lot of grief that she's dealing with at the moment, and she says, kind of whimpering out between the tears, Carter is gone. Your brothers, your sisters, the whole fort. Who was that? What was that?
it's difficult to explain. But it was a god. As far as we can understand it. This is a long story, but this is what my group and my friends have been fighting against even while I was away. You know, around, I think, what, 2 years ago was when we left the sanctuary.
Mhm.
A compatriot of ours found a gem. And while we were still learning through adventure, and she touched it. You know, as things go in books and fairy tales,
Did that one turn into a dragon?
almost into a demon. But we stopped it. We were able to cure her of her eldritch. But it led us on the path, and the direct path of Mafia. That Mafia is a god of herself. She was
A
orchestrating.
Malthea is
the
a god?
She was orchestrating the war and efforts.
I knew her mother.
Just like it was her in disguise, or a double image of herself.
And you start to see her tears sort of like not dry up, but lighten as she's coming to realization that she's been lied to by.
And I tried to warn Father in time, but Amalthea was working with another battalion. Frederick's battalion. I don't remember what battalion it was.
Like fourth
Battalion.
Legion.
And fortunately he survived battle. I was not able to pull that route. But in time we learned that Amalthea's goal was to revive her husband, which is Orion,
Orion.
the evil god.
Well, we've heard of Orion. I mean, we've all heard of Orion.
But that was him.
That was him. You've been fighting him for 2 years.
Been trying to prevent what has now happened, but we've failed in that aspect. But I put my hand on her knee. I imagine like I'm like kind of like kneeling on my good leg, keeping my other leg kind of like,
Yeah, like an Allen wrench loosening up to like and tighten it back up.
and then they will pay for this. I will make him pay for this.
She puts her other hand on top of your hand, right? Like, and seems like we can't afford to fail again.
No, you cannot.
What can we do? He destroyed an entire town
He did.
within seconds.
He did. There's.
How are the 6, 7 of you supposed to take
Well,
him on?
My friends are quite capable executors.
We saw against the dragon, but I've never seen anything like him.
I would ask Mother, and I know this time is hard, but I don't have the leverage of Father had. I was able to redeem some more efforts and creations for Creation Empire, but you making a plea to the Emperor? Creator, the King of Creator, Emperor Creed. The King, Creed have an Emperor. Shit.
Oh, I thought you were asking her.
No.
She was like, what do you
No,
mean?
does Creed have an Emperor or a King?
It's an emperor.
Okay. If you ask the Emperor for a legion or
I thought I was playing into it. I was like,
See, I knew he was asking you when he stopped. He's like, shit, you like.
Mom, like stop.
So you could get help. We need to attack Orion with all we can. And people will die. I may die. But Morrigan is out there safe. Having an adventure of her own. But I will make Orion pay. Especially for what he's done to me and my family. I don't know if she knows that I have the metal arm now.
I mean,
Because it's like it's part of the armor, so it looks like armor, just like armor, and then it goes into my skin underneath my clothes. But I can make the armor stop and like pull it off, and you can see the very red, cauterized stuff, and I'll hold it in my hands. He will pay, and I'll put it back. But there are some avenues we have to explore first. One is we need allies. And I can't ask the Emperor that you may, especially if one of his favorite generals has been killed by this person. You are a key witness for it. And secondly, I think one of the key components we may need is called Dragon Scale. I'll pull out like the last shard I have left. This is what it was in Athos. I tried to warn Father that we need it. My friends say they have found more of it. I think I told you found more of it.
Yeah.
But this may be a key to either weaponizing our battalions stronger or making us capable of doing anything to Orion. But we need allies. I hate to ask this in this moment of grief, but if I allow myself to stop moving, I don't know if I'll start again. And I need to keep moving. I need them to pay. So that is what I need to ask you at this time.
Do you request that I go to Vanovia and speak to
Whoever you can.
who I can to,
Who you trust.
I don't know. I trusted a Malthea,
And all there was a lesson learned for me as well.
so I will do what I must, and I will.
I rushed after you after learning you were not a Fort Darien.
Where are we now?
We were up by Reckon. I almost said Reckon it. Reckon.
Wow, this guy's pretty at night.
Yeah. This is the house we were able to buy after defeating a dragon.
We do that a lot.
The house is like still building itself back up, so it's starting to look nicer.
And you're welcome to stay here. We do have things capable of making messages to people.
What sort of messages?
It's a spell that sends a message to anybody you know. So you may not have to leave if my friends are willing to.
It might be faster if this is in haste. I don't know if
It's,
I would have
it
time
would
to
be
travel
in
from
haste,
Reckon
but
to Venovia.
we have to make a few journeys ourselves, so we would need to be gathering quickly. You know, the battalions can take time to mobilize. So
Let me make use of this spell. I will.
and I'll call out for either one of you.
Was it the same day? Was it the same day?
Yeah, same day.
It's the same day, so it's whatever you have left from last time.
How many calls did I
Use.
have last night?
One?
I don't know if we call.
I was say, I rolled 4 and I used 2, so I have 2
I
left.
forgot who you
I
called
rolled-
last time.
Well, because you called Cora, she called.
I called Cora.
Oh, that's right.
So I have 3 left.
Okay, and I have 2 left.
No,
so
you
I
also
used
didn't.
2.
You also try him twice.
But she did her necklace.
Yeah, you speak.
Yeah, I
Oh,
tried
no,
the
no, no.
necklace, not the, yeah.
Oh, did you message him after
Whoa.
necklace?
I used the necklace.
So you have
before, so
3,
I
I have
have
2.
I have 3, yeah, so.
Okay.
But you have plenty between us, so I guess we'll relay that to the two of you.
So I'll
Yeah.
call Satan and say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use
Yeah.
a device to make messages.
Yes, of course. I have 3, Vitra may have a few as well, I don't know how many.
So I'll tell my mother the specifics of the spell and that it's 25 words, they can respond to it, but to use it again, you have to use another action. So you can make 3 today, mother, and tomorrow a number more, but I will put my hand on the wall closer to my room and create her a room.
Yeah.
Just something small, quite just like normal.
Cool. She uses the shell phone, and she looks to you since it's obviously yours and says, "So, do I need to speak the name, or do I just start speaking?"
Just think of who you want to speak to and say what you need to say. You have 25 words, so think carefully.
Magic is quite a thing, mother.
Just think carefully, make sure that you keep it as concise as you can.
It's difficult when trying to reach
I know.
the Emperor of Crete.
I understand.
It's easier if you know who the person.
I wish it was more.
She does know.
Okay.
She was the wife of the 20th Legion. Heirs. I mean,
Who's the
she-
biggest
Probably
legion, right?
had
the
dinner
20th
together.
Legion was the biggest. Yeah.
She might have been over time too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's been invited to fancy dinners and stuff.
Besties.
This wife better.
Okay. We'll try to keep it under 20 words.
25.
25 words.
She's got a call. That was an alarm.
The battle stations.
No, it wasn't for you guys. It was
Oh.
for me to take my oath.
Okay.
Crete, Primos, Stannis. This is Tyler Roali. Urgent needs forced my hand for this call. I need you to rally your legions. Evil is upon us. I don't know how many more words I have left.
That was you. I think you went one over.
Perfect. Because she doesn't know if they can respond or where to bring the legions. Where are we planning to have this?
So currently, we know that Orion and Amalthea and their child, and any forces they may have are in the Red Wastes. Red Wastes. And I'll show her the book. I was like, we can track. Does this still track Orion as a whole?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these 3 objects Orion carries, but it is parts of him, his body. They are in the Red Wastes. And one part is in the Bridgehouse Isles, which is where we plan to go to retrieve that part and hopefully glean.
Those places are very far from each other, son.
Yes, the legions would need to prepare. Would have set Fort Darien to stage an attack,
Probably.
to group up and mobilize as one army. But the Red Wastes is where we eventually would have to go at the moment. That is the most information I have. But I know it could take weeks for battalions to arm, mobilize, and all those times he may be going stronger. I have this book. You could have someone of an import reach you here, and you can have a more lengthy conversation.
I wish your father was here for this. He's much more suited for this sort of decision making. But I've watched him for years, so maybe I know more than I put myself ahead. I think it's best that we plan a attack in the Red Waste. Less casualties than
Sure.
trying to make a stand somewhere. I don't know how the spell works, but how do I know if you received that
You
message?
will hear it within your head.
Did he respond? Did you hear anything?
No, I did not get any sort of response.
You should get send a gets a response, right?
Yeah,
He may not have known.
He may not choose not to respond. He may be like
You do have 2 more calls.
you can't
So
keep making calls.
You can try again and you can say, please respond if you get this. Or you
okay.
can choose to call someone else.
No, it's better to start from the top. I'll try again. She picks up the shell. Ramos, it's Tyler again. This method of communication leaves me limited of words, but our enemy is in the Red Waste. Please respond if you received it. A few moments later, she hears in her head, Tyler, we are aware and we are responding. She's like, I heard it in my head.
What crazy thing.
He said he is aware and is responding.
That was quick.
How are you doing that?
I mean, I'm probably there's plenty of people in the Empire that maybe already working on this, but
Do you think maybe he went south to Venovia after Fort Darien?
I don't, not that I knew of, but I was determined to get you far away from that. So
Was there any other survivors from the fort?
I don't didn't look for it. We can maybe my party and I can check, but my main concern is getting I got my father's body in Carter's. Grabbed you and left.
What if the Emperor knows the same way Amalthea knows?
By being an ancient being? Or
By being a supporter of his cause.
could be. That could be. It is unfortunately. And so Amalthea has been in Crete as far as I remember. But as I've learned, she is ancient. Divergence ancient.
So is the family of Crete.
So, I mean, we can make the plan. We have to make it somewhere. We have.
So wait, no. So wait, one of us can go to Venovia in person.
Yes, we can take it from here. We know of a portal that'll drop you in the middle.
But
of
if
the
it
city.
is a trap,
Then maybe
So might-
may leave you trapped. Yes.
Can we? I need to look at the spell components, but scrying, you have to scry on something you're familiar with, right? Or somebody you've met.
no, it's just like how difficult it is, or how their ability to detect it is different.
It
So,
lowers their DC to beat it.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like if they don't want you scrying on them,
Mhm.
they can roll like a save, and the save gets easier the less you know about it.
Okay,
Mhm.
I can look in, I can attempt to look in, it would not be very good because I'm not,
No,
Familiar.
I would assume the king has, the empire,
Is there
has protections against
is there
scrying
someone,
within his palace.
is there someone that's close to the emperor that you know would be with him that maybe would be less aware of how that works?
Do you have anyone you could trust to go there and stay with?
In the capital. I mean, you can't trust anyone in the capital.
That's fair. Whatever like that.
1 second, I'm looking through my list of names of people she would know. 1 moment. So Drexel is in the capital. He's a lieutenant of the 8th Legion. I could stay with him if I could find him.
Yeah, you trust him.
As much as I can trust anyone, but military men are typically more trustworthy. They take their vows and their oaths a little more serious than a politician.
You could have him, there's one more message, correct? You could message him as you of this part of town. And where the portal was, I don't remember what part of town I was in, but.
Is Creeper gonna send me?
Oh, good question.
Because I feel like I recognize that name from the people with the gambling.
It sounded, it
It
sounded,
sounded familiar to
Yeah.
me.
Oh,
It's just a random list that I have.
Okay.
I felt that was a.
Creepy
a-
voice
a-
that
season
was
two
like-
callback.
Is Zinro in the room?
No, I was checking on my daughter's body, but I mean, I can be.
I was checking my daughter's body. No big
make sure
deal.
she's.
No, I just,
Once she's safe, then yeah, I would have roamed around, but. Hearing.
Sir
that-
Drexel of Yorn.
No, the other one. The other.
his younger brother.
These are Drexel and Vanilla. Cool, great. But we don't know that, it's fine.
Yeah, he's not in the room.
I don't think I'm in the room.
Yeah, it's just him.
Could owe you a favor, yeah?
Yeah, and I mean, just to like, no, never mind. I'm not gonna say shit.
Yeah.
Use that info for what you want, but you're not in the room, so
I'm not
Cree
in the
doesn't
room, so I
know.
can't do anything.
Yeah,
And you can't know that, you gotta keep feeling positive
Yeah.
about it.
but like,
I don't know Sir Drexel, just being out of the military, like,
I mean, you probably have heard his name. I mean, he's most of the like lieutenants are maybe not as famous as the captains and the
Yeah.
like primos of each legion, but they're,
okay.
I mean, they're well known. I mean,
Are you at your pocket dimension?
Hombre's body is safe, we're all good to go. How's it going with your Just in time.
1 second, Mother, I'll walk over to Zinro and kind of whisper to you. Is it possible to revive after a number of days?
I would need a body that is theirs, assuming that you want them to come back with what they know. There are certain levels of magic where time isn't really a factor, but one of the lower forms would be about 10 days if you could get it to me in that time frame. How long ago did this person pass?
2 days?
I could raise the dead.
If we could, I'm not asking you to raise my entire family, but just my father would be able to command more ability to help us in this future fight. But I
Sound
understand that Mercury may have savings.
Just one more favor. For a lifetime of service that I am owed in any ways. But as many family members, I would attempt to bring back as many as I could. A debt that is owed my personal nature to you. Figuring out how to work this and I hold the staff.
did you reach out the staff and you're like, work this for everyone else? He's just doing like, work this and everything else. And he goes, this, and Silex, the room freezes. And the staff animates, and the little skull on top kind of looks at you.
Zinro? Okay.
Zero.
Mercure.
At your service.
I presume you heard my question then?
Your answer is yes.
Would you allow my father to return?
This is a debt that you have paid in blood. And your pistol, the name of the wizard, I can't remember.
Eberron?
Eberron, yeah.
The name Eberron goes off of your pistol as he says, "This debt has been paid." And then he's like, "It," and has his staff back.
Is Morpheus still on my pistol?
Malfia wasn't, it was Crater, Eberron.
Oh.
I thought it was Amalthea.
Was it
Crater.
Amalthea?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was
There were
those-
three
I think it was
names,
those three.
So maybe, yeah,
Okay, that's
okay.
fine.
I thought it was Crater, Amalthea, and
So
Eberron.
2 of them are all, so Morpheus is all that's left.
Crater's still alive.
No, Crater.
No, his body's still alive.
It's still on your pistol. Let's put it that way.
God's a weird deal.
Yeah.
It's hard to kill a god.
Would you be willing to? There's a part of me that wishes my whole family died. There's a part that wishes they stay dead to not feel pain again.
I certainly understand where you're coming from on that pathway of thinking, but as long as the resource is available to me, I have a bitter pouch that has some diamonds and things remaining.
I have
I've done quite a few resurrections.
I have diamonds to
Okay,
go.
well, as long as we get the body within the next, you said it was 2 days ago,
Yeah.
8 days, I can bring him back. Should be no problem.
If most people are in the war room, I don't know if who's coming in, but when eventually comes in, I'll ask, would we be willing to make a trip to Fort Darien? If we can kind of side eye my mother and see her reaction, we can bring father back, we may be able to have the full help of the Cretan Empire. If the Emperor is not working actively.
So was she there when you guys had this conversation?
I was whispering that
I was-
first question,
okay.
but if he's willing to do it, I'm okay with saying it openly. But I don't want to, if Zenra was unwilling to do it, I wouldn't have said it out loud, so.
Oh, I definitely imagined in my head of like you missed. I was like, well, within 10 days,
Yeah.
especially because you made it.
Yeah.
And when he side eyes her, I'm gonna look at her too, make sure she's okay. She doesn't look like hurt. or anything. That was my phone.
Chill. Yeah, she doesn't look. She doesn't. Surprisingly, she doesn't look shocked or affected. I guess
Okay.
it doesn't bother her. She just there's like a glistening of hope in her eyes. She's.
I just don't know if I need to heal her or anything like that.
If we can get Carter back, this campaign has success in its roots. I cannot lead. I don't know what I'm doing on a battlefield. I have no legions that will follow me.
Would ever be willing, want to be willing to take time? I know that
I mean,
time is of the essence.
but if this means that much more manpower, it's worth it.
If he's able to, most of his legion is now gone, but his word still holds enormous sway in the court. So, and he's quite talented himself. So
And Zenra's gonna bring him back.
he's willing.
Can the,
The other day.
oh crap, what was it? It's gone. Never mind. The portals, can they get us close to Fort Darien?
I think so.
One to
right?
Amalthea. I mean, there's one to Athena.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
can get there and then just ride from there.
That's fine.
Um,
I can get us to the caves pretty much instantly.
It was nice having Wrath just teleport y'all everywhere.
But I have the tree thing,
I mean, we've been to Fort Darien. You should be able to. There's trees around
Yeah, you
Fort
can- you
Darien.
can tree
Oh,
yourself.
yeah, no, I can, yeah,
Yeah, you can-
okay, I forgot that we've been there, I just have to have touched a tree in that area.
I'm sure you touched a tree.
I don't think you said you
Nope.
touched the tree.
I thought I didn't know you had
Well, think
to-
about it. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be a dick.
No,
to
that's
you.
Yeah,
You guys traveled by
I did not
boat.
intentionally, so
You
I
traveled by
intentionally-
boat, and then you went inside and found a bunch of fucking.
I
mutant
intentionally
shit.
touched.
We probably
trees
didn't like.
Y'all went into a
in-
cave.
Right
and then
away.
popped up back in the
intentionally
river,
touched
so I'm
trees in
like-
Athena, But I did not make.
Let's do
a
Athena.
choice.
We can do
So-
Athena.
Let's do it, yeah, that sounds fair.
She didn't
Yeah.
once get tired and was like, whew.
it
I
has to be
mean,
a mindful thing.
No, it's fine,
I'll
actually.
give it that. But yes, I can get us to Athena.
she's like her next character that has it. She's gonna have like a piece of her notes that just say trees I've touched and where. Section 31. I touched this tree right here. I said it.
That's a court case waiting to happen.
Dude, I would-
These are all the trees
I'd be
I've
so
touched in the
happy if people
house.
took those kind of notes, because then I'd be like, well, you're right.
Hey, you
Do
said
you
it.
need us to rest or can we travel now?
I'm not doing great.
Okay.
I'd appreciate if we could take even just a few hours, but
Okay, that's
if
fine.
we can't, that's fine.
I will do as you wish.
Appreciate that.
I like response Tyler does this and realize no one else did. And she's like,
Then let's get to rest at the moment, and then we'll move tomorrow, and see if we can get Father back.
before we break for our rest, how do we know this god Orion is in the Red Waste? And how do we know he's going to stay
So-
there?
I'll start the book.
Right.
These are magical coordinates to pieces that were used to revive him, but the pieces that were used to revive him were his blood, his soul, his body, in the body. So they are him. To touch. They are him. They're not items he carries. They are legitimate pieces of his being. And so
Creepy.
it is very
But
we as
in the same breath, please revive my dead husband. But that's creepy.
Yeah.
So this is that is the best I guess. And we can scry tomorrow and see if we find him. But
Okay.
He's quite a strong being. So.
I saw that firsthand. Okay, well then I'll go to my new room.
Rest.
What time of day is it?
It's like mid-morning.
Yeah.
Like y'all woke up, got the letters, and then fought. So it's been like maybe noon.
Okay.
Like it's not.
I'm
Y'all chilling,
gonna
y'all chilling.
make sure the house is finished. Rebuilding itself.
Yeah, I mean, it probably will take it a couple hours.
That's
So
fine. I'll just let me know, guide if you.
the main structure of it has been pretty much brought back, but there's still like pieces of it that are, you know, all the little fine details. But like the main frame has been put back together.
And then.
I imagine I'll probably, as I'm standing up to go try and get some rest, I would probably like pat Creed on the shoulder and be like, I'm going to back, and look at Silex and nod and say, you as well, we needed a win here.
You're okay too. You're okay too.
We
Yeah,
had a
thanks.
win.
Yeah, you're all right.
You already got a hug, we didn't get a hug.
And then I wanted to check the newer member of the group, Rath's room and Cora's room.
Yeah, what are y'all doing with Rat's body? Now that Xeris grabbed it,
Yeah.
I assuming Xeris is just holding it up, like he's still just holding the body.
I assumed that I was still coming up from the cliffside through all that.
Hey, you're back by now. I mean, you've been hanging out talking.
Perform funeral rites for him. And there are any specific
That was my
reasons.
plan.
And put his body in the forge if we can.
Is he not worth saving?
I'm
Not
afraid
too
that,
dangerous to
I'm
say.
afraid dragon
Yeah.
fought once is all I need for one person.
He, him,
He, him,
Yeah.
they.
We,
I thought.
How progressive of you.
I'll take their rooms and then
His pronouns are all of them.
Yeah.
I'll check their
wizard,
rooms
so.
Yeah.
or anything and then I'll, after I'm done with them, I'll close them down. Save the space. Bleep, bleep.
Control Z.
Yeah.
And then I will,
It's like using incarnate to build maps. Nope.
and then I'll spend some time with Ford after that before resting.
Okay. Yeah, so his room gets control alt deleted. You go back to your forge, which is kind of your happy place. Everyone else just going to bed or like trying to rest and
getting some rest.
revive.
I'll go back to Silex, see him in the forge. As soon as I realize he's going there, it's like, oh, smoke in the forge. Praise for-
get a nice little happy, warm feeling in your heart.
Yeah. Nothing's better than a montage of a man who knows technology and is trying to fuck over somebody else. I see you're working back, trying to create. Man needs something to do with material, and you once gave this to me. Maybe you can find a use for it, something for maybe your mother to keep her safe, being one of the last ones you left. Or something for your father when he eventually comes back. And I gave you the 79 pounds to drag a scale back.
Oh,
That you gave me.
Just dumps it out the bag.
Yeah.
79 pounds. That's a shit ton.
So
Yeah, that's like that's probably valued around like $1 million gold pieces.
You see, guys, Silex has one remaining eye, probably even a little bit of the gems, like bright, like
Imagine your arm. Imagine your whole arm made of dragon scale. Just
that would be awesome. But there are other things that need to be fitted with this. I appreciate this. I really do.
means nothing to me. I can mold it. But I kept it safe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And then I will immediately start getting ready to smelt and make things. You're more than welcome to stay and watch if you wish.
Yeah, if he needs help, yeah.
and then he starts to take his shirt off and it gets weird.
The sweaty montage.
Since we're doing a long rest, I do have a 5th level left. I was gonna go and just see if I could scry. Do I do a Malthea? Do I do Bradbury? Or do I do Orion?
Like Bradbury would be easier.
Bradbury's probably the easiest one. So I will go ahead and scry on Bradbury, assuming that he's with the other two, hopefully, and see if I recognize red waste around them or if they're somewhere different.
We know they're in the well, you know. Oh, that's a good point. You don't know that. Not anymore.
Not anymore, okay.
Oh, I thought there was one. Yeah, I thought one thing in the book we didn't have track of was like we got
Just like
2 of them, but there's the eye and.
Yes. All
I
the
would
other 3 are
assume
the
they're all
same.
together. It's more like we know they're there in the book, but we want to check to make sure anything's.
But if they're not together, you'd like to know why Bradbury's not with them,
Could be.
Yeah.
so.
Well, I'll choose Bradbury.
Okay.
Either way, it's win-win. Unless you fail. then that's not-
That's a very good possibility. Be awesome if it was for her.
What's your DC?
Is it not him that has to check that?
That's what I'm saying. I need to pass against your DC.
Oh, it's 19.
Well, since you know him firsthand, it's a +0. So
Lots of knowing.
pretty slim chances. We'll roll it in front of you just to see.
Oh, yeah, let's.
Just
I
so there's
like
no,
Do what you want to.
since there's no sketchiness, you know. Oh, it was a 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a lower number.
Hey, low enough for me.
But I find Wrath sword.
No one's gone through one yet, so.
I mean, it would have been destroyed with him, right? Like,
He didn't
You
have
can
it
turn
on.
into a dragon.
oh, I don't know. I mean, you can look for it. I would assume that it was destroyed in the fight, but I mean, it might be around.
Yeah, if I can I try and find it?
The wand was broken.
Are you in your forge or are you looking for the sword?
Well, I mean, I would have done this when I was looking in a room.
You're an all
Yeah,
field wand.
Malthea's wand. I don't think that would have broken. That was pure
You're an
dragon
all
scale.
field wand.
Someone reminds me.
Or if there's anything left in Corey's room, I would have looked before I deleted
Yeah,
it.
let me do the scrying first,
Okay.
and then we'll go through that. Yeah, so
This is a good
you start to scry, and your vision's like real hazy, like it's difficult to see in this place, not because the scrying is failing, but just because of the overwhelming smoke and ash floating through the air. The red sands below you, they look like different patches of red throughout. You can almost feel the humidity and the heat of this place just through the scry, and you see Bradbury pacing back and forth while Orion has his wings folded back and he's standing above Bradbury. He looks to be about 20 feet tall. He just looks huge. Bradbury looks like a child, like a little ant compared to him. And Orion gets down on a knee and it looks like they're talking. It's difficult to make out what they're saying, but it looks like they're having a conversation. And Bradbury, you hear Bradbury say, do you think this might be too soon? Are we in a position to take what's rightfully ours? And then you see Orion's like mouth move, but you can't hear. And Bradbury says, well, it's no better time than now, I guess. Do we have the help that we think we have? Okay. I guess we've done it. And they both start like smiling, and you see Orion like just kind of grab Bradbury on the back, like with his whole hand, just like his thumb is like the size of his chest, and he's just like, ha ha ha. You see like Orion like kind of smiling down at him, and when you look up at his smile, it is eerie. Like he looks like there's just nothing inside him. Like there's not a person behind the face.
Like a Joker smile, like it's too big kind of
It's
thing,
just
or
not even that. It's just like there's no humanity in his eyes. There's no personhood in his features. It's like he's wearing a mask, but that's his face. And then a moment passes, and as you're looking at Orion's making that smile, he kind of like glances up in the direction of your orb, and he continues to smile, and he goes, and your orb goes away.
a high ass perception, man.
Damn.
What did they do today?
Who do they have on their side?
Real
I know, I'm scared.
um,
I'm scared it's your.
I would start. I'll do the investigate. I'll roll another investigation
I'm
check
scared
to
it's Crete Emperor.
look through their rooms. That would be a dirty 20.
Oh yeah. You don't.
Both Wrath and Core's room.
Nothing, of course. There's literally nothing in her room. In Rat's room, as everything's been kind of like built back up, you don't find that sword.
Okay.
However, you do see this long, it looks like a dowel of some kind. It looks like a long stick that seems to be made of dragon scale, but it's nothing you've seen before.
Okay. Pick it up and cast Identify on it.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Woo!
Way to go, Vax.
Yeah.
Your identify shows that it is a oh my god, what do you call it?
One.
Yeah, one, but like what do you call it like for a magic user? Like their
Arcane
focus?
focus.
Oh, the
Arcane
arcane
focus.
focus.
But it doesn't seem like anything more than that. It's like an arcane focus for a magic user, like a wizard.
Does it have any pluses or anything? Because I would know everything about it. So Identify. If it had any pluses, if it was cursed, if there's any magic on it, apply to the spell. I mean, you can look at the spell and
Yeah, let me see.
and see what like.
Let me see what it needs to tell you so that I don't hold anything back.
He doesn't want to go over the
Yeah.
No, I mean I get it.
I didn't.
I'm scared that they have the Emperor Crete on their side.
Hmm.
Seems very vague.
It's interesting because it's not, so it describes it as you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement and how many charges it takes. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item, and that answer is technically no,
Mhm.
but there is something to it.
Yeah, no, I think it also tells me if it's cursed, so,
So it's not cursed.
okay.
That's the tricky part about this. So the item is created.
Grace kindness is it a curse?
I can make another Arcana roll for it and make that.
No, you don't need to do that. I'm going to tell you. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to describe. So when you pick it up and you feel its power, it doesn't give you any pluses or minuses in the traditional sense, right?
Okay.
This is an item I made, so it's not like a +3 or +2
Okay.
or anything like that. However, when you pick it up, you do feel like certain aspects of it are more powerful than others.
Okay.
And there's this surging power, and you're going to have to attune to it.
Okay.
But you get the idea that certain spells work a little bit more like stronger with this particular item. Yeah, like more potently. And it is some sort of phylactery at the same time.
Mhm.
So again, it's not really a spell or a curse, but it is some sort of.
So I can tell that I know what a phylactery does.
I don't know if you know what phylactery does.
Okay, do you want me to roll?
Yeah,
Adam knows.
Yeah,
so,
I would maybe roll for that one because
Okay, you want a history check?
yeah,
or-
I mean just basic intelligence if you want.
Okay. Nope, no idea what a phylactery does.
Okay, so you don't know what a phylactery is, but you know that it's not cursed.
Okay.
So
Okay. Do I know that it's a phylactery? Just don't know what that is, so I can ask other people. Do I not know that word?
you know the word now.
Okay. And if there's nothing else in their rooms, I will close down their rooms, and then I'll go. Then I would go down the porch. Then after Zinro gave me the glass, I would show it to Zinro.
Mhm.
And be like, I don't know, it doesn't have much of it. It's an arcane focus. It looks like it's made of dragon glass. But do you know what a phylactery is?
It's Seamus, I've looked at it multiple times. Hearing the word, am I familiar with it in like a religious context?
Well, you're gonna be slightly familiar with it because you fought somebody that.
No, yeah, I'm stumping on the
Why don't you
definition
do
here.
an intelligence check?
I mean, I know it sort of uses the process. I mean, yeah, what kind of, do I make a check on the word?
I mean, sure. I would do for you. I would do like a religion check.
Ah, yes.
That's what you've gone for this whole time.
No, it's just, it sucks, 'cause, you know, there's unsolved, so it's solved. The 12. It's really high.
I rolled a 1, so it's not a
It's some sort of like
Nope, 13.
some sort of item,
Some sort of thing.
like magical like item.
It's a multi-syllabic word.
When we did the little like lady that was eating the children, she had a phylactery, correct? So we have some familiarity with it. No, raft, yeah, we weren't there, but
Okay.
they were.
Well, I will put aside for the moment and I don't like my fortune table. And then I will start to smelt the 79 pound, or let's say 20 pounds of the dragon scale. And then if you'll let me add to their wands, into his staff, more dragon scale. And hopefully take theirs from a +2 to a +3. If you'll let me, I'll roll for it.
For like his staff.
Yeah, like just add more dragon scale to it, not reforge it, but just add more dragon scale and same for their wands. Like
More dragon scale wouldn't make that any more strong. That wouldn't like the more of it doesn't make it stronger. You don't need a lot of dragon scale to get the effects of the dragon scale.
do they have the effects of the dragon? Do they have the
Yeah, we
effects?
have the plus.
They just never use it.
Oh.
They always just turn into dragon.
Fair
But
enough.
if they
When
were
we
to
do
cast the
spell
spell.
cast, I do use it.
Give him a pair of like dragon brass knuckles or something.
Yeah, like dragon claws, like dragon scale claws that fit over.
I mean, you could always create an armor for your pops or your mom,
Very true.
or armor for any one of us.
Okay.
I'll take it, I'll take it as sword.
Sword.
I'll do some dragon. Balls.
She's just still working on that staff of,
Alright, you got a plus.
I know my
staff.
staff is
that's
nice.
pretty good though.
Alright, then I will start making dragon scale swords.
Dope.
I'll make 2 right now. One for my father and one for Kree. And purely out of dragon scale, but so that it's hard, doesn't crack under the force of the blade. So I might do like a inner soft metal,
Right.
and then an outer layer of dragon scale.
Okay.
And then I will enchant Krees to do an additional type of damage that would be invocation, because I know that invocation is doubled with dragon scale.
Yep.
So like maybe like force damage if I could. So that it would do additional force damage on hit.
Yeah, we'll say you get an extra D8 of force damage.
Yeah, that would be great. And then my father will just get a dragon scale sword, like plus 1 or 2.
Cool.
But I'll spend the rest of my time working on that. I need to be 25, right?
Yeah, to get it done like same day.
Well,
If
that,
not-
that was just to not crack the dragon scale.
yeah, and then if you're trying to get it forged same time, that would be kind of the same check. If you're
Okay.
trying to work on it over like a week, the check would be lower.
Is it an Arcana check or is it a Dex?
Forgot what it was for. So I think it was like dexterity.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was like a matter of how like.
You're already getting advantage for,
No, this is 2 different rolls.
oh, how about, I was gonna offer my assistance in
Oh, that'd
whatever
be
way
great.
possible, but also I will tell you, cause like you probably would have seen me for a second go glassy eyed right then and there, cause after I give you the stuff to look, I was like, I think there's a possibility that that Bradbury had mentioned, they're in the red waste right now, but Bradbury mentioned to Orion some sort of allies they think they have. So this may be bigger than we can handle. So I suggest you probably make those swords as strong as you can.
Okay, well then I'll make them as strong as you'll allow. Shit.
And if that helps them in whatever fashion, but if not, it's fine.
I think I'd be different. Okay, so plus 8. 4. Done all the things. Double proficiency. 31 for the first sword.
Yep.
And a natural 20 for the second sword.
Damn.
So yeah, both
Which
of
would
those.
give me a 33.
Yeah, both of those pass.
Okay. So as long as, however strong I'm making with his help, I could probably use higher level magic. So I cap out at level 4. He's got level 9s and 8s. So
Yeah.
if like, I guess my thing was I would forge it and I would carve the runes and then somehow channel, if it'll help me, use his higher spells to channel the magic into it and print the higher level magic enchantments onto it, if that makes sense. So that they'd be better +2s or +3s. If that makes, does that make sense to you, everyone?
Well, yeah, yeah. I was gonna try to look something up here,
Okay.
cause you were like using my higher level magics and like I would be a more proficient magic user, but I was thinking here, my highest level spell slot after our last battle was 8th. So it says here, I would need 1,000 gold piece, reliquary, I guess I pronounce that. So a relic of some kind.
For what?
I would like to think that doing all this, I would like to cast while he's doing it. This would be on myself, but helping him like hold material or whatever. I would do holy aura on myself, and I can just spend 1,000 gold and say I have a religious thing on me, and maybe that'll instill some sort of like 8th level power.
Yeah.
Maximum power.
I mean, not bad, but
Yeah.
so
Narrative.
No.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna call both of these swords. We're gonna call them pulse blades.
Okay.
So what that means is they are going to be made of complete dragon scale. They're going to be obviously melee weapons, martial weapons that have. We'll go ahead and make these a +3. These are going to be like legendary items. So it'll be a +3 blade for attack and damage. However, it'll have 3 charges per day.
Okay.
Each charge can, on a hit, can automatically apply the spell Pulse Wave,
Oh, okay.
which is a Dunamancy evocation spell that pushes or pulls creatures and objects in a 30-foot cone. So you can either pull things towards you or push things away. That creature has to take, you can look up the spell, but that creature has to make a Constitution saving throw and take 66 force damage on a failed save and half as much on a successful.
That's a nice sword. I get that sword.
Does it still do the extra D8 of force damage?
Not for this. This would be, instead of doing the force damage, this would be the pulse sword. I would say if you were doing like a +2, like a not a legendary, but like a yeah, like a pretty good weapon, I'd say that'd be like a +2, and then you would get the force damage. This one's, you're getting 66 of force damage versus 1d8.
No, yeah.
So that's pretty strong. And you'll have 3 charges per day with the pulse wave. But I will put a oh fuck moment in there, and we'll say every time you use the pulse wave, like the pulse part of the sword, you have to roll a d20. And if you roll a 1, we'll make it only a 1. The sword cracks and the pulse wave shatters the sword.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
I was gonna say a one
But
or 2,
you have to know
but I
who
was like
you're
a 1.
talking to. Statistically, I'm an anomaly.
Yeah. So,
And then after that, I will rest.
but we will say that 1 is inducive, or sorry, applicable to any feats and boons. So if you have like lucky, you can re-roll that 1.
Okay. I'm assuming that would take until like the afternoon when everyone is still sleeping, and then I'll,
Yeah, each one would take a while.
and
to
then
get
I'll
those,
rest,
so yeah.
and then wake up when everyone else wakes up.
Sweet. And I mean,
Well, it already has it. I'll just gotta put the spell for you.
and the swords look dope, by the way, because that dragon scale is just glistening with that like purple lightning going through it. And so every time you look at it in a different angle, it's like obsidian black, and then like you see these little lightning streaks go through it.
Oh,
Like,
it's 2 of us, man.
well, one's for you, one's gonna be for his dad.
Oh, okay.
You can hold on to it for now.
Yo, if you got
I was
2,
about to
Like, if you want to use the
say,
night style, like you want to use something else, so you're not just like,
but can I hold both
It
of
would
them
literally
now?
just be like everybody
Yeah.
pop up Cree.
dog, if she had both of those and she was like a 2-handed fighter.
I am a 2.
she is.
No, that's what I'm saying. And like you were able to use each one, and you could do both of your pulse wave attacks like with each hit.
Oh my god. It's okay. Just read it.
Good fucking luck.
Do you want to give?
Oh, and she's a level fucking 16 fighter, so you crit on 19 and 22. So like you would add,
She's 15 fighter because she took a level barbarian.
you still, but isn't that like a feat of like level 10? That's what I'm saying.
No,
No.
that's the
it's not.
champion fighter who gets that.
Oh.
She's the battle master.
So you still only crit at 20?
For now.
I think she gets to 19. Like,
But if you do crit, are you the type of fighter that gets like double the dice or like an extra damage die? Or is that only barbarians?
That's only barbarians.
They get the boot
I should really learn the rules to this game, but I run.
You would have
I got
actually
good,
saw
you
it
know.
over there. You got this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different subclasses and there's so many
Yeah.
I am an unusual person, but I'm just like.
Oh, trust me, for
create-
the next campaign, I'm gonna research like disgustingly about all of y'all's races and subclasses and everything you choose. I'm gonna be more of an expert on your characters than each of you when we play. And you're not gonna like that.
Saves me the trouble.
I'd be like, well, why don't you just do, you can add that too,
I'm all for it.
Okay.
So do I get to hold both of them?
You get the whole move from this side, yes.
That's cool.
I don't know what kind of blade my father has. He might already have a really good blade. I don't know. So,
Not that good.
Not as good as this.
Not that
sure.
good.
Yeah. So we'll go to sleep and then wake up with everybody else.
Okay.
Give it to me already?
What are you doing with the wand?
I would have left it on the forging table at the moment.
You're not giving it to anybody?
Not until I figure, I mean, I can. Like, I would like to figure out more about it, so, but
Show me
I
the-
have bread in the morning, I figured that I was like, okay, I'll deal with that later.
Zaris, what are you doing?
I mean, nothing particular, I guess, at this point. That now that the body's been taken care of, I don't have any like major goals at the moment. Maybe not die. That's a big one.
Yeah. Are you making him any sort of weapon?
Not at the moment.
I've already got the axe.
I don't
So.
have time to do those 2 swords.
Okay.
I mean, if we let's go to my father and come back and I forge, it's 79 pounds, I can make a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see. Each of those swords took about 10 pounds of.
okay, so then I have 59 pounds left,
Mhm.
I can do a lot,
Mhm.
so.
I have some too, not that much, that I can give you at some point too.
That'd be great.
All right. So everyone goes to bed, wakes up the next morning. The house is completely back together at this point. I will point out all of the wards and everything are back up and running now. So everything is kind of back to how it was pre-dragon. PD.
Are you ready to travel?
I would have slept in the forest.
Would have slept on the floor?
In the forest.
Oh, in the forest. I was like,
I
wow.
heard, so I heard I would have slept with the horse.
We all heard something different. Woman, articulate.
I said forest.
She's the prettiest whore she was sleeping with.
Are we traveling by trees?
Yeah,
We traveling by tree.
I'll go up pretty.
Kickstart the tree.
So I'm gonna
Going.
go up to, I'm gonna go up to Cree's. Okay, I'm gonna go up to Cree's tree and I'll, it's a good tree.
Cruise
Yeah.
tree.
And I'll kind of move my hand over it and you'll see an opening, just kind of open up that we can all step through. It's in the doorway.
There's like a
It's
mark
my
break
bedroom.
apart.
I was like, there's already an
Yeah.
opening. Do you want to just use that one or do you want a separate one?
I want a second one.
Okay.
I need a magical one, a more magical
We'll,
one.
we'll say a knot just on the wood, like
Yeah.
expands and starts cracking and like just.
Did you guys go get Rain out of the forest?
Yeah, the Zen forest, that's like my room. I was very
I'm
distraught.
assuming we all. got
She's singing to
together.
the birds
Yeah.
like in that one
I don't know,
movie.
she could just be chilling and.
Are you coming with us, Ray?
It blows up.
Yeah.
She makes.
I was not with y'all in that talk, so I have no idea what's going on. Okay, so what happened?
Where's your sister?
Do you wanna,
Don't you have a thing?
she doesn't have one.
Oh, she doesn't have one?
No,
All these communications.
Roll
devices.
back.
Wait, so did you
Where's
come back to the
Ray?
house or are you still in the forest?
I'm in the forest.
Alright.
I would have seen the house crumbled and now we're going to the forest.
Did you tell everybody you're going to the forest?
Probably not.
So hold on,
They're
let's
all
back
out.
up. Let's
Yeah.
back up. Let's back up. Did you sleep like? Because it's kind of the middle of the day.
Right.
So it was probably around noon when everyone kind of broke to do their own thing. You went to the forge, and everyone else kind of went to their shit.
Mhm.
So you went outside around that time, and it's been probably around 6 hours or so. So now it's actually getting kind of like towards nighttime because everyone rested right after the fight. So are we all just sleeping through the night to the next morning, or are we all regathering here at night?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Nice.
nighttime goes by. Nighttime goes by, and
Want to take care of that?
fucking talk. And everyone who's inside the house sleeps just fine. I didn't know you were outside the house. This changes things. You're in the forest. Are you like in a tree? Or are you laying on the bed of the like
I
on
lay in
the
bed.
bed of the canopy? Okay.
She made a bed out of leaves.
I slept in the forest many times.
She turned herself into a little squirrel, and then she climbed up a tree.
Honestly, that might be smarter than what you're about to do right now.
Yeah.
Probably should have done
That's free talking, not Tristan.
Oh, is it?
What'd you roll? A 1?
that. Oh, what? It's an 8, it's a D8.
Oh, okay, I was like.
It's a D8.
Next roll, man.
It's still a 1. It's still a 1. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by that clunk. So
You're gonna need so much. trouble.
your slumber is awakened by the cracking of trees that you hear. And you've been out here for hours at this point, right? Kind of reconnecting and recharging to nature. And
It's very strong.
you haven't heard any wildlife besides the tweeting of birds, the occasional crickets chirping, just typical like foresty noises, right? But you haven't heard any predators or wildlife or really loud dog claws on wood floors. So like you haven't heard anything like that. And hearing this like alerted you instantly, and you wake up and you start to look around and you hear it again. This time it's a little bit closer on your right. What are you doing?
I will actually turn myself into a squirrel and go investigate.
Honey,
I have to do.
go lay down.
It was his idea.
Oh,
Go lay down, baby.
But I thought it was a good idea.
yes, I'm alert, but I'm like, well, as a human, I'm gonna be noticeable, so I'll turn into a little squirrel. Go
Okay.
investigate the sound.
Yeah, there's are you going up in the trees or are you staying on the floor?
I'll probably go and jump.
Okay, so you scurry up into the tree that you were probably leaning up against. And as soon as you get about halfway up the tree, like the whole forest kind of opens up as far as like what you can see. Your little squirrel eyes. You look over and you see kind of this shadowed being kind of like stalking through the forest. Not aggressively, but just and it's just sniffing around, looking around, doesn't seem to notice you in squirrel form.
Thank God.
It does as you watch, if you're not making any other actions besides watching, it does walk to where you were just laying and start like sniffing on the ground where you were.
Yeah, do I recognize this shadow figure that's leaning like it before?
No, it's closer. It's right under.
As you get a little bit closer, it looks like some sort of large black cat, but it has these odd tentacles that are also sort of looking around as it.
What is this?
I don't like it.
What is that?
And it starts making this like crackling kind of noise, almost like if you've seen like the Predator movies, almost like.
It's like gurgle. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Do you know
I
what
don't
it
like
is?
it
I think so.
I think both have.
I don't like it. I don't like those noises.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
Bad.
No.
Get a spray bottle. Bad kitty.
I think I've seen a picture of it, I just don't remember.
You should do nothing.
As you watch it, and
Yeah.
you see these like tentacles start to like kind of touch on the tree, you notice each tentacle has like these blades of teeth coming out at the palm of it, and it's just like stalking. It's hunting,
This monster.
Nerds.
Yeah.
and you see its like snout, and it looks up into the tree. You can't tell if it sees you, but it's definitely caught onto a scent. And then you see the paw.
Oh my god.
Right now.
And start.
Oh my, is it going after me?
That's you.
Just-
are
it's
slower
slowly
than he is
crawling.
talking.
It's slowly
It
climbing.
smells you.
Okay,
What are you thinking?
I gotta get out of this situation if it's going after
Get out of this situation.
Go up.
I'm
Fly.
going to.
No one else is there.
I
know.
know, we're
I know.
trying to folks over here.
Okay, I'm gonna
You
make
stop it.
my way to the top of the tree,
You're not welcome in the car.
and then I return to a bird and fly to the house. If
Don't lead it to us.
Really?
Yeah,
This is the ones that-
I guess I.
As soon as you turn into this bird, you see the attention stalk right at you, and as soon as you start to fly away, weird sensation. You watch this animal that you've been seeing climbing this tree. You see it just fade into nothing, and then you hear from behind, jumping from another branch, as it goes and grabs at you. As it jumps from the tree behind you.
We have these out here on our front
front
lawn.
As a bird? I mean, no, I mean, yeah, it's wild shape, so I guess you still have your stats. A 20 is gonna hit you as a bird. So it grabs you, and as it does, it like plummets back to the ground, which isn't that high. It wasn't like a fucking red word or nothing, but like it grabs you and goes down, and as it bites essentially.
Yeah.
We just have these in our backyard.
It does 14 points of piercing damage. So I think that kills the bird.
Probably kills a bird, yeah.
So as you guys fall back down, it bites into you as it falls. You see its face confused as hell when you transform into rain as you hit the forest floor, and it like jumps back for a second. You see those tentacles go. I need you to roll initiative.
Jesus. Right.
Don't bring in the house.
You've been outside of our house.
First off, don't you realize how much shit can happen when you
First off,
sleep
that house
outside
is
of this
probably-
house?
Do we have
Also,
a displacer beast
You
infestation?
better find your little sister.
She should know better. Oh yeah, I'm sleeping like a baby, like.
No, Rain is distraught. She sees
No.
God's body. She falls on her knees crying and she goes into the forest because we had to kill our friend.
Well, announce that next time.
I was trying to, but everyone else was talking and I was like, well, I don't know when the time is.
Well, good luck.
Oh, it's like,
I have to wish her good luck. She turned into a dragon.
Yeah.
Good luck.
yeah,
I have my wand.
shit out of
Yeah,
her.
this would be really scary if she wasn't like level 16. But
If
still,
there was 7 of them, that'd be very scary.
Can we see a picture of it? What's it called at this point?
What is it
I
called?
think it's rates of displacement beast.
Yeah,
So what?
I was gonna say, that probably.
Alright, don't look it up because you're about to fight it.
No, I'm not
So,
looking at it.
yeah.
I'm not looking at it.
yeah, it's a displacer beast. It was in the D&D movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trailer. What's your initiative roll?
11.
11. Okay, so he's gonna go first. You're gonna see as you look, and again, it's dark out. You can see pretty well.
Yeah.
You see him like start to step like almost laterally, and as he does, another of himself walks the other way, and it looks like there's 2 of them surrounding you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna see both of these tentacles, or like each one of them, both tentacles go and go to attack. Oh shit. Okay, the first one definitely misses. It was a 3, and then that's a 16. So both tentacles miss as it tries to attack, but they're standing like kind of at like 2 and 10, right? Like where you are, respectively.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Damn it.
I mean, you're only, I would imagine you're only like right in the forest, close to the house.
Wait, I'm like right in forest, but I mean.
Yeah, she probably did walk 4 hours away to find the luscious part of the forest.
Yeah, she found it to where like the sun perfectly beaded through the
Yeah.
trees.
I mean, if you could just change it to a bird and fly back.
I did do that, and then I got caught.
No.
Let's do it now on your turn.
That wasn't part of your plan, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
as
I'm
hard as I
trying
want
to
to,
drive
I just
some
want
bullshit up.
That's
Instead of flying to the entire forest.
Yeah, I'll take my wand out because they're +2. Yes,
She's like, as I was reminded today.
erupting earth.
Oh, but those are cute.
The little kitten was cute, yeah.
What's the range on that?
It is 120
Sorry, no, what's like the size of the earth that is erupted?
20-foot cube.
Yeah, probably both of them. Yeah, I'd say probably both of them because they're like,
I mean,
they're not super spread out. They're like kind of right in front of you. So we'll say, yeah, both of them get hit here. So they gotta make a saving throw. That's probably not good enough. What's the save on that? I'm assuming dexterity.
It's Dex.
So that would be a 13, probably not good enough. So what's the damage that it takes? Damn. Okay,
Yeah.
Starting.
I haven't used-
start with the big ones. You
That's a
you
level
used your wand as well, right?
I use my wand.
Is that an evocation spell?
Transmutation.
It's transmutation.
No worries.
But yeah,
Just remember that going into the next fight.
yes. But it does
Evocation.
give me a +2 on my DC.
True.
It gives you a +2 to everything, but just remember.
Yeah.
Well, it's
evocation.
+2 to your spell attack and your spell save DC.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
But
we're talking.
That was a 1. Yeah. 15.
15. Okay. So yeah, now it's his turn again, and it's going to like the one of them, like the one on your, we'll say the one on your left fades away and it kind of disappears, and the one on your right is now making that lunged attack. And great again. That's a 14 again, dude. Holy shit.
Well, you're looking at right here.
I really am. I'm rolling like 6s and 7s.
Sally says we don't think we're fine.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're some like babies.
I was just saying, I see Cree sitting on top of her tree, and then just like, almost like one eye opens, and goes, not my problem.
Yeah. We're all safe in here anyway, so it's okay.
All right. The second attack is going to, oh, definitely hit. That's a 21. And that's going to be, that's going to be 9 points of damage
21.
as it scratches into you with its claws. And that's it.
Or magically pants down.
All right. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna do calling.
Okay.
Both of them,
There's only one now.
or one now.
Yeah.
Only one.
Really?
Right,
Make it
you're
max
dex
damage.
Dex save. He fails. It's a natural 1. And they are really good at dexterity.
It's going.
That's a conjuration spell.
Yeah, I looked it up just to check. Her wand
It does
has,
certain types of magic, it does something, we don't know what yet. But it does something with the certain types of magic.
y'all experimented with this way
We
back.
did, I remember that. We remember.
It's in the book, Robert. I wrote it down in that book of yours. That's all.
Oh, that's right, we're in the bedroom.
In the
I
bedroom,
think
we
it
did
does.
like
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Did it heal better too?
No.
Remember that?
No.
Did it?
Oddly enough, healing is the evocation.
But it doesn't heal better. I'll explain once we figure it out. I'll explain it better.
What's that? That's a 10.
That's 10. Oh, it's a 10?
Yes.
Okay. 15.
Another 15. Okay.
I did that right.
Yes.
Is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
I would probably. Oh, let's do my action. I don't think I can use this up.
Bonus action. Bonus action.
Yeah, I'll just back away.
Kind of back up. How far?
30 feet.
All right. As soon as you start to back up, he's going to take an attack of opportunity to swipe at you. Your AC is what? 19?
18.
18. Okay, so that is. So that'll be 12 points of slashing damage as he claws into you, and then as you back up that 30 feet, you're going to see him split into 2 again.
Great.
And he's going to lunge and multi-attack at you. The first one, we're switching dice because I can't roll for that. First one misses. So his bite attack misses. He's going to go with a tentacle this time. And that's a plus, so 16. Holy shit. No.
Hit her for shit.
I mean, she has a 19 and he only has like a +5. So he's not, I got to roll a 14 or better on everything. So it's your turn again.
Definitely think it.
Yeah, no. Everyone,
Oh, you could squash this thing.
yeah.
This was honestly just an ego boost for you to fuck shit up. So
Remember, don't kill anything. Except for this one. Except for this. This
Okay,
one.
first of all, my life is a danger, so.
Maybe you could like talk her way out of it.
And it's like creature, like, I mean, I don't even know what kind of creature.
I just don't want you to be in bad taste with your god, you know.
I don't either. She's thinking about that, she's doing this. Okay, I'm gonna cast Moonbeam.
Sorry.
Moonbeam?
Yeah,
Classic.
That's always how I imagine them being too.
To this, you have to roll it up.
His dexterity save was a 14.
I ain't gonna make it.
Or maybe I'll do 20.
What are you doing?
The Constitution save.
That's even worse. So
What are you doing?
I thought it was dex. So
Yeah, I'm actually wanted extended.
Huh?
Constitution.
Oh, probably you're getting rid of your call lightning.
Oh,
Call lightning is concentration. So you can have it.
oh. I thought, okay.
so you can move it with you, or if you
Okay,
cast
well then
moving,
I
it's
take
different.
moving back and I still do call lightning on it.
Okay, just kind of move it to him.
Yeah,
Which one? Left or right?
the original one,
You don't know which one the original
Damn it.
is. That's the whole thing of a displacer beast.
the left one.
Left one. Roll a d20. Five. So as you move it over to the left one, you see the lightning, and you see its image like falter, and the illusion goes away, and it's like the one on the right's growling at you, like in that like clicking sound.
Yeah, you probably had to roll like a 11 or higher or something.
You got rid of it. You got rid of its illusion.
I got rid of.
No, it's his.
Okay. Okay, so then I will attack him with call lightning.
So that was your action to move the lightning, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna again step into two versions of himself, and he's going to take this time only one action. I guess he used his displacement. He's going to, yeah, he's gonna go get you. No,
Go get you.
no, he's not. He's
Yeah.
gonna miss.
You're getting mirror image and he's just not hitting, so.
Okay. Yeah, well,
He's doing great.
Can Moonbeam get both of them?
this is only 5 foot radius, so no,
It's
I
one,
just-
one square,
Yeah.
like boiling down on.
This one is bigger. It's 20 foot. Right?
No,
No.
you make a big
That-
storm
that
cloud
was- that
and
was
you
the
can
other
choose the point that
Yeah.
it hits with that cylinder.
Can you tell his cantrips are good to go with this?
Yes.
So why don't you, lightning being one, cantrip the other? That's the thing.
Hey, aren't you a swords person?
Aren't you a word?
So I was thinking all the
Okay,
time, two
I'll
shots,
move the call
catch
lightning to the right one.
Don't fly silent.
Sorry, say that again.
I'll move the call lightning to the right one.
Okay. This time as it hits you, you hear it like whelp in pain. How much damage did it do?
another 3 to do.
Yeah. Should probably just keep that. Oh, 6. No, that means. 17,
15,
8, 6, and 1.
15.
15.
8, 6, 14 plus 1.
15. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do math.
You guys are doing great. You hear it like whimper in pain as it like, and you hear it like kind of squawk backwards, like.
Oh my god.
Is that a baby? Is the mama coming?
And it's gonna lunge at you. Ah, got you, fucker. I'm an 18 on the die. That's its first.
The DM says that. Gotcha, fucker.
It's been like 6 tries. All right, so that's gonna be its first claw attack. Its second claw attack. So the first claw attack cuts into you, dude. It's a 3+4. So that is I can roll like that for Orion. He's still gonna hit you. That's a that is a oh my god 9 points of slashing damage as it cuts into you with its claws, and it's like locked onto you at this point. Well, it's like clawed into you. Yeah, it's like trying to. It doesn't have the ability because of the mechanics of the game to try to grapple you in this moment, but that's what he would be trying to do if he had an additional action.
Okay, so he's on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also has 6 legs. I don't know if you noticed that, but
Yes.
He has the two main claws, and he has like these two little legs in the middle for some reason that are also clawing into you.
Yeah.
I will try and cast. Okay, so he's on me.
Mhm.
So I didn't know.
I'll learn that.
Or
I'm
the
gonna make
fact
him
that
do
I
that.
lifted when I grabbed 20.
That would be so cool.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
Cast Despawn.
Beast spawn.
Yes.
Okay. What the hell does that do? I mean,
Well,
it sounds pretty straightforward.
So
but-
he's
Oh
touching
my
me.
god, imagine Ray just coming back to the house with this fucking.
So this is Charlie.
Everything's
Guys are bringing back fucking
She has
dragons
to
and crazy people. What the fuck, guys?
Okay, yeah, but birds and cats don't mix
I'm
well.
going to
So,
charm.
I will say the first sentence of this spell says you establish a telepathic link with a beast that you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you.
Yeah.
Charm it first, and then
Oh, that's about to do as well.
So you can try to charm it.
Why do you charm? What do you charm?
Give it a
first?
week.
Your charm. I don't
Oh, you're gonna charm beast.
think I have charm.
I don't think there is a charm.
Yeah.
There's a dominate monster.
And dominate these.
Does that work? Is what you're saying?
Better for you.
Beast bone left,
Not very. It's like a level 1 spell. It's not very strong.
but if you make it stronger.
I don't think that's a scalable spell.
Yeah, so if you've done, yeah.
Yeah, the dominate beast, if you have that, is going to be much more effective.
Yeah, I have dominate these. I should remember what spells on this.
Fourth.
Thank you. You're very convenient.
You're such a nerd.
Yeah, okay. So I will
Yeah.
cast dominate beast.
What? Dominate beast? What a crazy play. We didn't see that coming.
Wisdom saving throw with advantage.
I don't have advantage. She doesn't. I don't.
Because you're fighting it.
I know, but there's no allies around.
Yeah, just.
No, it's you
Oh, I have
or the
advantage.
creature. You because y'all are fighting and you damage that he has saving.
If you or creatures that are friendly to you are fighting it, it has advantage. Oh, okay. So it's a wisdom saving throw,
Yeah.
which is great. Awesome to do. 12. Ooh, natural 20, baby. Oh, it's still a +1 on that, so that's a 21. Yeah, can't dominate this brain.
Fine.
Sometimes you suck.
Alright, then I love my goal.
All right, it's gonna. I just wasted my only natural 20 though, so I'm gonna try to continue to just fuck you up here from the side. There we go. First one missed. The second one, he's going to like use his back legs and try to rake into you from the bottom.
Do we know the gender of the cat? I'm just saying, you can't say any. Do we know? Do we know boss?
And then it goes inside. Fucks up Cree. It lays eggs in Cree's mouth.
It has to climb up my tree first.
Tasteful.
So that does 8 points of damage to you.
Thanks for the help of the fortune.
And then you hear rustling from the trees behind you, or like in front of you, I guess at this point, and you see 4 more,
Oh my god.
Fantastic.
and they're significantly larger. This one here is probably about 150 pounds. These that come stalking out are probably around 500 pounds. These are the adults. This one was a young one. And you hear that same like,
Yeah, you feel it.
and they just they're down on the they're like a leopard that's like down on its haunches, you know, like looking at you.
Wasn't it like a called on me?
What?
Wasn't it he like attached to me and called on me?
Yeah, he like bit into you. So he has his like claws dug into you right now. He's like a cat when you're trying to give it a bath. And it's like just doing every claw it can to get you. Yeah.
What you doing?
What you say?
You could just transform.
You know what, we're gonna let her give you.
I have one more wall check back in. Yeah, but
I thought we have our levels cut in half.
Yeah, what do you mean? You should have like 6.
Yeah, 8, we're level 16.
I was like, you should have a lot of wild shapes.
absolutely never.
Two more levels, you don't have infinite ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
A couple more levels and you can just be a wild shape.
All the time.
I think I'll just decide to live for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Morrowgast.
Oh, they can do that too. Is
I know. Oh, that's funny.
Okay. I will.
These are just
Oh,
metal
she's turned
beds.
into one.
that would be hilarious. You turn into one of those
I can
things.
turn into a doppelganger.
Yeah, but you get fucked up with a doppelganger.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that looks
can-
like
I
it's
can
good
turn
nights.
Spider and be basic or a feed and become
I'd like to
yeah.
Suck its
Yeah,
blood.
yeah, you can turn into a flea.
And then your next will be amazing.
Turn into a flea and then like really just irritate all of them. You know.
Yeah.
Can't catch it then.
Oh, we should turn into lice. Just be
Or
annoying.
Or a tick.
Yeah.
I turn to a water elemental, go into the soil.
I'll do
Yes, you're elemental,
I
you
can
can
burrow.
you can.
I'll do, okay, so I will do a earth elemental and burrow into the ground.
And you hear like because now you have tremor sense, so you can feel all the like the little pitter patters of their feet as they go through above you, but they are understandably confused on what just happened.
Good, tremor your way back.
Where
Yeah, go
are
back
you?
to the house.
They don't know what to attack, so they're not making any actions. Are you trying to attack or are you trying to flee?
I'm gonna try and flee because I can't fight by myself.
Oh, you can.
Oh, I got one.
No, I know. That's not what I
But
meant.
then you can borrow the whole fucking way back.
Okay, so you go back to the house.
I'm gonna burrow back to the house.
So you burrow all the way up to like where the front of the house is, and they don't
They
follow.
don't follow.
Yeah, they don't know how to follow. They can't.
They don't
They
know
can't
what
get
happens.
Yeah, they don't know what just happened.
Okay. They're like, okay.
That was like the one play where they can't follow you because they can't see you. So cool.
Okay, so I will turn back into myself and I will
Underground.
Your room is now fixed.
But they gotta hop out of the ground first?
Before you turn into yourself?
yeah. I'm gonna get out of the ground. and
Yeah,
turn back
no,
into myself.
we don't assume here with,
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Shay.
hop out of the ground, make sure none of them followed me back to the house. I don't see any of them.
No.
Okay, I'll turn back into myself and go to my door if it's unlocked.
Go home, so it's-
It's not a, of
It's locked. Okay.
course.
Of course it
Silence. He's not
You
leaving
should
it
get
unlocked.
in.
Yeah.
You win.
It's the magic word. No, you're able to unlock it with the arcane lock on there. But yeah, you're able to get inside. No problem.
Go to my room.
You like get up to your room and everything's back to how it was, but it's like a little bit different. And so you're like,
So bright and early.
Hey, guys.
I would assume one of us would come get you if you don't come downstairs,
And
and we'll
probably-
bring you with us.
I did not shower, so I probably have very stuff all over me.
yeah, what are y'all doing? Nice morning. Bright and early.
Are we?
You hear the sounds of Creek.
Are we all ready to go? Where's Ray?
I'll go get her. Go get you.
And scratches and bruises all over the
Yeah.
He's so dirty.
Yeah, I assume she
What is wrong with you?
I mean, she could have, yeah, yes, given this one.
Just cast
I don't wanna talk about it.
I'm just gonna pull a healing potion out and hand it to her.
healed my sleep.
Oh, did you sleep?
Yeah, I
Oh, okay, great. Well,
Alright,
okay,
so,
she's fine. Let's go.
I'm fine.
You good?
She's fine. Let's
Alright.
go.
You're still covered.
It's a
I will grab that wand and put it in my bag before then. And then we'll teleport, right?
The tree.
Cause I think the river that's in my room.
We're going to, one of Fort Darian.
Or is it the detailer?
We can't get to.
Well, yeah, Athena and then Fort Darian, we're gonna get this guy's body.
Yeah, we need to get to Sage.
And Zimmer's gonna.
We're gonna try and bring her back.
Alright, so we teleport to Athena through trees.
Athena.
Oh, look at you.
I had asked if it was possible to change the river that sits behind the monument, like flowing water.
Yeah.
Change it into ice, completely ice it out.
Yeah.
I was gonna put it on his body and freeze it.
We fought a cat.
If you can think it, you can do it.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what? I am gonna get off of drugs.
Like freeze is actually gonna be the exact furthest spot from you.
Oh, But like I leave like maybe a half an inch of ice on top. I lay her down and I let it freeze there. And then I can store about it because I don't have any other way to preserve it. And I don't know if I'm coming back in a moment. So.
I mean, it'll hold for 30 years.
It's
I would think
magical
it's
ice.
magical, so I would think so.
It's magical ice.
It's also in a pocket dimension, so like.
Anything's possible.
Hey, cryotherapy, okay?
Huh?
That's why I asked last time, I'm like.
What is that, like a new
nothing's
order?
there. Will you have,
Cry, I'm
resurrection at some
sorry.
point?
Is the Cajun
Assuming I'm
version
around
of
to
it.
use it, I could.
Okay, I'll have it, so.
I don't have the magical hoop.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you have any more than magical hoop?
We know where to get it,
That's true. If that's still around, that counts.
so. But if she's in a dimension pocket, it doesn't matter.
I figure right now I can just put her on ice. Well,
Put her
Put her on ice.
as a grave cleric, I have gentle repose.
Yeah,
which
throw
I
on
could
some
do.
ice and then,
I
you
don't
know,
have that.
have it for leftovers tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Will this sushi good after 3 days?
I've never played Shade as a maximum player. He's gotta be a pain in the ass.
Raz was a pain in the ass.
Yes.
He's putting me as a player.
Just saying that I've never
Yeah.
played with you as a player, but you
Oh.
have to be a pain in the ass.
Raz Master Fister, what's the pain in the ass about that?
We made
With
a
his
pouch to
boomstick.
carry her character and she fucking hated it.
Oh my god, it
Oh,
like
that
They have a replica.
It
They
was
put-
like a backpack.
They made a replica of my character
out of
that
like
was
brown meat.
out of meat,
Out of
And it
brown
was
meat as like a decoy.
decomposing character, and he carried it around. It's so bad.
Oh man.
Y'all just haters. Y'all
What
just
a
haters,
weird
you know?
time.
Also, we started
weird
the
time.
campaign chained up naked in a room,
Mhm.
and the two guards came in as he got out of the restraints, picked up my character and put me in front of his junk. I was a halfling, he was a barbarian. And I
He's a
shot
lion
out,
barbarian.
I shot out to Eldritch Blast and killed the soldiers. And from there on, what did you call me? Crotch gun?
Dick.
I don't know.
Dick gun?
Dick Cannon.
Dick Cannon.
Dick cannon.
So it was interesting. The last session I remember Mandy lost her
I
arm.
lost my arm. I had to roll. It was like if I got between like a 1 and 10, I got, or I don't know, whatever numbers, I could either get one of my arms chopped off or my legs chopped off or my head cut off.
So she obviously would pick an arm
They-
or a leg.
But you roll, you roll if I got a certain number and if it was like in the
Oh,
head
she
range.
died straight up.
Yeah.
They were level like
You're an asshole.
10 or 11. They were in a
Technical
dungeon and they fucked up the puzzle. And they awoke something they shouldn't have,
Mhm.
and they cast a spell, and
And I
she was
lost
the
my
last, she was the last one to go
and I lost my ring
downstairs.
of holding on the arm that I.
You seem so proud of yourself.
Fun campaign.
It was a fun campaign.
Okay, anyway, backtracking.
I still love that tower.
Atlantis was the greatest, will always be the greatest shit, wasn't it, Trey?
Wasn't this the one where you killed my gnome by dropping a door on it?
No, that was.
No, that was a one shot.
No, I was the gnome. What are
Yeah,
you talking about?
Yeah, that was.
You were the DM. I was the gnome. You killed the gnome with dropping a door on it.
No, this was the sea elf one. This was the sea elf one, right?
Yeah,
Or fucking.
Because I was the gnome.
Atlantis.
Yeah,
No was
freaking
Diddy Brahe,
Atlantis.
and you killed me with a fucking door.
Why are we in Atlantis? Because Orin said.
But why?
Why?
It's great. The whole time I was gaslighting Trey, no one believed Atlantis was real. It's just a blue elf. No, I'm from Atlanta. No, dude's crazy. Listen to this guy.
It became a passion project. Let's be honest.
For you.
I still remember the tower and all the
Oh, yeah.
different bullshit. Yeah, every time. And then that fucking gym game. That like
That was the
stone.
greatest thing ever.
We had to pick up each one. Dude, that was, and I remember after we played that, I had actually found the it was like on Reddit, but I found like that puzzle that obviously you got that from, and there was like hundreds of them. And I was like, a lot of these are way too complex to try to set up, but some of them are like the perfect level of like a little bit more than easy, but not too difficult to piss you off.
So
Do you love puzzles?
I do.
I do too.
They picked up, there's 3 gems, they picked them up, once you picked them up, they cursed you. Shade could only talk while somebody else was talking. Trey can only ask questions that begin with a certain letter of S. And then
Anytime Mandy heard the word
The
or
letter
heard the
S.
sound S, she was in pain.
Yeah.
so Shade would talk at the same time as Trey or any one of us,
Then she'd be.
and then we would all stop to listen to Shade, and then Shade would have to stop talking.
Oh, that's the worst thing for Shade too.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so much
He
fun.
would be like, I think, and we all go.
It was great. It was really good.
That's okay. Back on.
All right,
Yeah, sorry.
we're in
We're
a
back, we're back. Athena, door opens. We all step
Athena.
through. Rain is with us.
We
Not
we
next to
trans-
her, 'cause it's
we
not like
trans-
that.
Yeah, she said it's like cat.
We traveled to Athena.
Oh, you tree sported.
Tree
Transport.
sport.
Transplanted.
I'm assuming the town's still in wreck.
I mean,
It was empty.
yeah, I mean, it's the whole town is in just that one little corner
I know
where a
yeah,
fucking
but
shit fell out of the sky.
We,
I don't know what you're talking about.
My
How do
daughter
we make
should
haste?
be
It used to be.
Hopefully my father's body's still there, I don't know. I left him
Are we
quite
trying
early.
to travel inconspicuously? Or does it
I think
matter?
it's kind of given up at the moment.
Alright,
We'll just-
because if we're not, then
Speed over.
the 2 of us can maybe dragging it out and carry us all.
That would be beneficial,
Okay.
if that's okay.
I would fly myself.
That's fair, okay.
I need Sam to fly me.
Okay. Well, then we'll drag it out. And
Drag it out.
we're gonna turn into dragons and carry them all to Fort Darien,
Except Cree.
except for Green. Will not be carried.
Cree will fly himself.
I make my own nests.
So how, going full speed on a dragon, adult dragon would be the hour.
Yeah, I mean, it takes about a week of travel by like foot, probably like 3 to 4 days by horseback. By dragon, probably about 4 or 5 hours. So, you know, get there. I mean, you can see it from probably about 3 miles out because it's still kind of in cinders and smoke. A lot of the town is just in ruin. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're signaling for help.
Once we get there, I mean, Silex will kind of like hesitantly walk through.
There's no people.
Oh, the bodies are gone?
No, not that, but there's no like people fixing anything.
Yeah, no, I meant everything. Only Cree.
You guys from the sky as you come in, like you see, he clearly did another meteor storm, and it's just like you see the craters in the ground and the divots and the destruction below. I mean, it's evident from the sky that this has just been plummeted, raining hell from above. Just, and you see as you guys get down on the ground. You've been here, so you kind of look familiar. You see the main building that you guys walked through the first time and went upstairs to Carter's office and got attacked by a bunch of weird fucking mutants. Yeah. It's so much fun. That was a fun one.
Once we land, I'll start looking for my father. Like,
Yeah, you guys see a lot more of those spores now. Kidding. We're
Oh, okay, I
fucking
was like,
past
oh,
it,
was
guys.
he surviving?
Jeez.
She turned so hard. She's like,
She's
They're
like,
still here.
there's multiple now open tunnels. No, they don't like sunlight, remember? So yeah, so yeah, you're looking around, you get to where the like opening is, not opening, but like where the door would have been to and you guys see where, like, you see Silex kind of like look away from that spot, and you see just like a perfect cut of like straight through like pieces of the wall. It looks like some sort of like laser or something cut straight through it. And you just see like remnants of like soldiers' bodies and body parts just across the ground.
Silence will kind of walk up. And is my father's body there as well in that area?
I will say you find it eventually. It's not like
A little bit.
presented on a golden platter. It's
I
like,
mean, he'll kind of like touch the scar and kind of touch his arm and affects it. It's like, you took my arm. I'll make sure that you die this time. And then I'm going to my father and bring his body to Zenro.
cool. Yeah, you find his body after a few, maybe like an hour or so of searching through all the different centurions and bodies of infantrymen. You find Carter. He looked like he was fighting in front of a bunch of the men that were killed, and his body's laying like next to a small like battalion of men. But you find it nonetheless, bring it to Zenro, plop his body down in front of Zenro.
Respectfully, Paul.
A respectful thought.
And this is the first time you've seen Carter Royale. You've heard about him a bunch, but this is the first time any of you have seen him besides Cree. And you instantly understand. Like, you look at him and he just has this strength to him. Maybe a little less because he's 3 days dead, but he is like a powerful looking man. He's tall, he's strong looking, and even in death, he looks dignified.
I'll put the diamonds on top of his body for this.
Corey will probably take a knee as you do all this. Disrespectfully.
I will do my normal thing. Yeah. And then as I sense the completion come to be, I'm gonna, soldier needs a weapon to fight.
Oh, dear.
It takes a second to get it out of Crew's claw.
And she like unsheath it and it like makes like a quick little shing. You like hear like a crackling of like lightning as it.
And I open up his hand, and I put the hilt of the blade in his hand, and I take the rest of the diamonds and I put it in the middle of it, and I close it and squeeze as hard as I can, and then try to like flash energy through the blade and see if it like wakes him up.
I'm like assuming you're casting
Raise dead.
Raise Dead.
Yeah.
So the body slowly begins to animate with life, not in a jolted, sort of, yeah, nothing like that. It's more like the body slowly kind of remembers how to move, and you see like his chest start to rise and fall, and the grip on the blade just becomes strong and firm, and everyone sort of sees the color come back into his face, and it goes from pale to the flesh tones that look similar to the bronze skin color of Silex. And then a few moments later, his eyes open and Carter Roalian is back.
Is your mom with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
That one
sure.
never get old. See, I told you, there's one thing.
I don't know if people are allowed to do that.
Can you hear me?
He's like, he opens his eyes once and you guys kind of see into like, he's like emerald green eyes. He like looks up and just closes his eyes back, cracks his neck.
Go ahead.
And then he just kind of sits up using the weight of the blade as it into the sand beside him.
Yeah, it would have gone like.
Yeah. And then he like pushes himself up and just starts to stand up right away.
I'll hold him up.
Without saying anything, he just kind of stands tall, and he's around 6'3". So standing above most of you guys. Only one really close in height would be Silex, honestly. And well, Zeris. To be fair. But he looks around, he sees Sage, Rain, Kree, Silex, Tyla. And then he looks at Vitra, a little strange, and he looks at Zimro.
A lot of strange.
And his eyes sort of open up a little bit more, and then he looked at Zeris. Now what happened here?
We were attacked, Father. Do not remember.
He's gonna look at the rest of you, and then look back. I know I've been dead, but I'm not stupid. What happened?
Ryan did. God did. Can we move this microphone? Because it's like every time I look at you, it's like I'm getting my.
I moved it a little bit over this way earlier. Wherever I move it, it's in somebody's way, so I can try to like put it between you and Tristan. But there we go.
My compatriot Zimro here.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Has brought you back.
Well, I feel weak.
3 days dead. Mother is sick.
And yeah, she comes and gives him like a embrace, and he just like struggles to lift his arm up to like go around her. And he like kisses her on the forehead. And what of the other children?
Morgan is still alive. I can't remember the name. The one that died, the spider person, a long time ago. That was like a year ago. And one of the twins, yeah. 'Cause the other one is still alive. But I was shaded. Is the brother who was a captain, Brandon, he was. It's
Bryn.
been a long time. Yeah.
So there's Silex, Clara, Valen was the captain.
Okay.
Bryn and Thatch were the ones who were
Okay.
they were the ones who were here last time. Lydia and then Morgan.
Okay. So Morgan is still alive. Lydia's dead.
Everyone else is dead.
Everyone else is dead. Okay. I'll tell them that.
Yeah.
Everyone else is dead.
You see his eyes sag a bit. But unlike Tyla, hearing that news, you see him and what are the next steps for Orion?
Currently, he's in the Red Wastes. So
He looks directly at he looks towards like back, seeing like the complete destruction of his fort. I need to go to Venovia.
we have a way to get you there, so but it'll take some travel. But it'll be faster than traveling from here to Monrovia. But Mother has contacted the Emperor, I believe.
Yeah.
I did not know if we could bring you back. But now that you are back, the same plea I made to Mother that we need help. Us, the friends, cannot deal with Orion on our own. We've been trying to prevent it for the past year and a half.
I'll do my duty. You do yours.
So,
Not win. What has been done so far?
we did have possession of a piece of him that has been stolen from us. We are going to collect that. Displayed in your hand.
What timeline can I expect that piece to be collected by you?
How long would it take us to get it?
Not long. We can
Okay.
have a tree there.
You do?
I think so.
There's
There's
no
no
miles
trees
is
in the
the
Dredge's
ice
Isles. It's
volcano
like all
thing
ice.
that
Oh,
forgot
never mind. I was
over.
not
We
thinking of
have
the
a
right place.
horse.
There.
We have a.
See, this is why I need her to
horse.
make notes because she says shit like that. It doesn't make sense.
We
I have a tree in Jaru.
You love dragons.
If given a, how long would you need to mobilize forces? If I'm given ample time, that blade there in your hand could prove very, others like it could prove very useful for my group, and I would need time. And that is made of dragon glass, which is what I warned you about before the war.
I remember.
I have reason to believe that it would make a detrimental impact if we use weapons of that nature against him.
If you're going to collect this piece, who's going to forge the weapons?
I'm the only one who
They'll
can.
do both.
I would need to collect it, yes. And then we're going to forge
Would it not delegate time more efficiently to send your friends to get this piece and you stay to forge these weapons if they're so critical as you say?
They could be, they could not. We have no way of knowing yet. I mean, we know that it can bolster magical spells, and my tree has played like it, and my friends all have gear that I've made over time. But
Among you all, who's the strongest? And he looks at Xeris.
That sounds right.
but I would also need to be there to collect it and make sure it's collected right. Unless you want to send people to collect it on my group's behalf, our group has things to do. For
Collect what?
that. And
Oh, the
y'all-
dragon scale? Or are you
yeah.
talking about the eye or the dragon scale?
The dragon scale.
Okay.
There's a lake Vistaki. There is a large deposit of this mineral.
Let's prioritize our time here. You
Right.
say, let's prioritize our time here. You say he's in the Red Waste. We don't know how long. I need to get to Venovia to get at least 3 legions.
Mhm.
From what I've seen him do to the fort, maybe more. We may even have to call upon our newfound allies in the north. While you all are fighting to get this missing piece, which has importance, I'm sure, but I don't have time to hear why. You need to stay here to forge these weapons for these legions that are coming. We don't have time for you to do both.
I understand that, and I can forge when I get back, but I will not leave my friends who saved my life and your life and are going into this battle for us.
Then I go back to my original question and ask, how long will it take to retrieve this piece?
Few days. We have means of getting there and getting back. We just have to go do it. I wanted to bring you back.
Okay.
To-
We'll need a new base of operations. As Fort
Amalthea has
Darien.
abandoned Athena. Good.
That'll do.
And we have means to get back to Athena as well. Amalthea is a traitor, I hope you know, to the Cretan Empire. Amalthea is
He looks down at
husband.
Tyla and she looks up at him. You'll fill me in? She says, yes.
So I would have told her most of the story.
I
so-
figured, yeah. I'm just speeding up the storyline.
Mhm.
Well, I think our objectives are clear. I will go to Venovia with Tyler. We will collect what we need and meet in Athena with our legions to train and prepare. You will go to the Treacherous Isles, I believe,
Yes.
which is a long ways away. You sure you can make it there and back within a couple days?
They're very capable magic people. As in Rome, my friends. They just turned out of dragons to fly us in, so.
Okay. Then you will retrieve this piece, meet back in Athena,
Mhm.
where we will prepare to march northeast to the Red Waste.
And I'll give him the book. You can
Oh, yeah.
track Orion with this.
Hmm.
And I'll show him the 3 parts.
You do the magics, both of you. We've-
I mean, we have more magical powers than they do.
To scry.
To scry and find where they
I'm
are.
gonna make a note real fast of whatever the coordinates are.
That's fine.
Sure.
That I can-
He'll say, we've had scryers and scribes within our group, and our high legions. Proved very effective for knowing the whereabouts of our enemies.
Okay.
But they are no more. So the two of you, young ladies, will be of great importance to allow us to know exactly what's going on with the enemy and where they will be mobilizing or defending their current position. So I need one or both of you.
Well, you can track them with this weapon.
I'm speaking, Silex. I need one or both of you to communicate back to me once per day. Tell me of what Orion is doing and where he is. Once you've retrieved this item, all of you, go back to Athena, and we'll further plan a course of action from there. I'll use this book to try to keep tracks as well, but I do not have the means to contact you. You must initiate. Do you hear me?
Yes, he has the ability to send, so we'll spend some time.
Okay.
So we'll make sure that we'll get in contact.
Just brought back to dad and was like, you guys are magic people, right?
Actually, do you think it would make sense for me to give him the necklace and then we'll use yours to communicate? Okay, so I'll take off the necklace and I'll hand it to him and I'll say this allows us to contact you as a group. So.
Do I need to wear this
Yes.
or hold it? And he puts it on.
Then that way you can communicate with us, we don't have to initiate.
Wonderful.
I can make quite a bit of weapons for.
Could have used many of you here a few days ago.
Seems we're gonna be helping each other.
Yeah.
How many pieces of weapons can he make?
I took 10 pounds.
59. It depends on the weapon. I'm gonna probably give different. So he made like
Like, he would make as good as weapons as he made for us, obviously.
I'd say
10 pounds.
I'd say like long swords,
And anything bigger.
axes, like falchions, things like that would probably be about 10 pounds each. But if you're making like daggers or rings or like wands, stuff like that, it would be 2 to 5 pounds. It really just depends on what it is. Like, yeah, if you're making bolts for a crossbow or something, obviously much less.
Bullets.
Oh, that too. Same idea. It would be much less for things like that rather than like a full.
What would you be making for
Long
the
sword.
army though? 'Cause I mean, if you only
I would
have
be
50
making
pounds
like-
left,
I would
so.
be making.
That's why he was saying to go and
I need
mine.
them to go mine it. So I need them to gather it. So by the time we get back, we've done our bits.
And I mean, that gives you guys time to plan. Like, you don't need to make a sword for every person, but if you can make, if say 10 pounds of this ore gets you 1 full sword, or 10 pound gets you 500 arrow tips.
Yeah.
You know,
So
you could just make a
outfit the
buttload
legion
of those arrows for
with their best
for the
fighters
legions.
on the sword for, or upgrade our stuff too. Because
So-
I need that as well.
There's options. I mean, you can play around with it, but yeah, right now you have about 59 pounds left.
That one is for us definitely first. So
Okay, because honestly, I kind of agree with your father here. I feel like you kind of need to start mining or start forging. We can handle whatever we need to.
we'll start forging and stuff. But we'll do that later.
No, I agree. I agree with Silex. He must go with you all. I have to go to Venovia regardless, so we will meet back in Athena. But first I need to rest and nourish myself. Understand?
I'll cast Goodberry.
I was about to do the same thing.
It fills your stomach.
I know.
Eat the good berries!
You guys have like 8th and 9th level healing spells, and you're like, here's a good berry. I'll take this 1 point of hit point and fill myself.
That he needed to eat.
How far away is the cave from here?
Cave. Cave.
The portal case?
Yeah.
Oh, the portal to the cave is in Athena. Is that what you mean?
So I'm
There's a-
pretty
there's
sure
a-
there's trees around here. If we can use the tree thing again.
As long as I've touched the tree on the other end, I can do that.
So
I think what he was thinking was go to the portal that's in Athena, take it back to the cavern, take the cavern portal to.
Yeah, let them go to Zenobia and then we go wherever.
So hard. Okay, so you're gonna go.
Don't you
But
have
that's
the,
the,
don't you have
that's
the
the
train
quickest way.
system?
I don't know what.
Yeah, is this the B rail? Is this the blue line?
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to go to. You're trying to go to Athena to go through the Colosseum portal to the cavern in Recton,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna take which portal there? Because there's not one that goes to Dredgeless.
There's
So
one that goes to
When
Vanilla.
it goes to Jorvik,
there is one that goes to Venovia.
Push my father through that one.
Well, there's
and then-
one in Jorvik.
There's one in Jorvik.
Yeah.
Then we go to Jorvik, yeah, and then either take the boat or.
south the way
And
down.
Good, because you guys haven't really been to Jorvik, and that was a fun place that I made it. We're just not gonna touch. So yeah, we'll go to Jorvik and then you'll fly north.
If that's everyone okay with that travel plan.
We also have the ability to windwalk.
Ooh, we could windwalk from Jorvik there.
Yeah.
That's
That would make
okay.
that really fast, yes.
Cause that's like 10 hours, right?
Yeah, because it's, you
No, it's-
travel 300, your movement speed is 300
Yeah,
feet.
that's funny.
And you're resistant to piercing and all of that, so it's a pretty
Okay, so
effective.
everyone okay with that plan?
To
Yes.
windwalk?
Zero, maybe,
Yes, yeah.
Keisha? I've heard your name for a minute,
You can't like cast spells or anything while you're doing it.
then you have to
All
take a
you can
minute to
do is-
transform back.
Yeah.
I still remember that from when Keelik did it.
Yeah,
And
all you
they,
can do
They're
is.
all
she pissed
like-
everyone off. It pissed everyone off by doing it. It was great.
But then you couldn't talk either.
Yeah, they couldn't communicate, they couldn't talk. They're in the middle of combat.
Yeah, you
Grace
can't do
don't
shit,
love it.
so-
I'll just sit here for a minute.
Don't talk.
No, she thought she was doing something smart, and then everyone was like, God damn it. Okay, so that's a good plan. So who's taking Tyla and Carter through those portals? I guess you guys are all traveling together to the portal.
Yeah.
Through the portal,
You're
push
gonna-
them through, they're on their own, have that. My father's a very capable man.
I wouldn't push him, but yeah, you could like tell him to
No,
walk through.
Silas looks like a child in front of him right now, like he said, stop talking, and Silas just shut up.
But yeah, so he gets those good berries, he eats them.
I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Oh, thanks. How many do I get?
Feeling way possible.
Well, I got-
Because right now he has 2 hit points.
Oh.
Well, he was
Yeah.
dead,
I
and then
come
you give him
back
2
in 2
berries.
Oh, okay, well, okay, that's, yeah, well.
So he's a
Oh,
little,
you were just dead for 3 days because of good berry.
How much total HP?
that's why I laughed when they said good berry.
Yeah.
How-
How was back to?
How much total HP does he have?
215.
Okay,
Damn.
well then I go ahead and I bop him for,
Bob.
I bop him for all my divine.
Spank.
Yeah.
It's like,
I bop
well
him
done,
for-
Captain.
I'll,
Good luck out there,
I'll
sir.
hit with all my divine heal that I get for just being and that's
Oh, you do divine heal?
85.
Okay.
Do it in the shield, keep him in the
You guys
back.
watch, he like fills out a little bit instantly.
And that's 18 times 5 is.
You want me, what does he have now? 85?
87.
87?
I think he's okay. I think he'll be able to heal up.
Will be okay?
That's enough for a warrior.
Unless he gets attacked in Benovia, he should be okay.
That's 90 actually, 90.
He's got 92.
Okay.
Wait.
Then I will not use Cure Wounds on him.
Sure. Yeah, save it. Q. So you guys travel by dragon back?
Yeah, I guess we
I
travel
mean,
dragon.
we can travel slower now that my father is alive, that's fine, we need to, we're gonna say spell slots.
There's no spell slot to be a dragon.
By feet, right?
There's no spell spot for them to turn into a dragon.
Oh, alright then.
It's just
Wild shape.
it's just wild shape.
Okay, and by me, by all means, yeah.
He's super hesitant at first. He doesn't want to get on a dragon, but he does.
As the dragon try to talk to him.
No, it's just like he saw her transform into the dragon, so he does. It like if it was just the dragon showed up.
Does he have a little bit of glee as they fly?
No, he looks terrified.
No, he's gotta go.
So yeah,
He's a Valarian.
we'll take him through the portal in the Coliseum, and then, and through that way, I'll kind of explain what has happened over the past 2 years.
Yeah. So,
And then, once we get to the portal of Novia, this is the little part, this will take you to the middle of Novia,
okay.
right in the middle of the street.
Mhm.
But we must go this way.
Okay. And he kind of looks at both of you. He like says, "We part," and he just walks through.
Alright, that's about right. And then, alright. That was the most I've ever gotten from him, okay?
This is the best father.
Tyler does give you a hug, and you and Cree both like a hug before they go through. and kind of smiles at everybody.
Be
Says,
careful.
thanks for bringing him back. And she looks at the dead man. She says, thanks for bringing him back. And they walk through. And then yeah, I like her doing that first. So she kind of says her goodbyes and you know, says thank you and then walks through, and then Carter looks at everybody and says, we part, and just walks through.
Yeah, you know what, usually I don't get a goodbye at all, so it's.
Just a stern look and a turn. So
Progress.
Yep.
Yeah.
nice.
Favorite now, you're the only one.
The only one that- Morgan found his favorite.
Nah,
Yours
definitely
is
not.
so-
Definitely not.
What do you guys want?
And then we'll go to Jorvik, correct?
Yes.
Jorvik.
Yep. So you guys kick him through, and then y'all go through the snowy landscape of Jorvik. It is
Perfect.
snow on the ground, flurries. It seems like there's always a slight winter storm going on in Jorvik.
It's cold.
I'm gonna go.
Thank you, Heather.
It's cold.
The funny thing about a blizzard is.
It's cold.
Tell me more about it.
I'm.
Rainbow.
Why is this blizzard not hot,
Yeah.
guys?
What?
What?
I said, Rainbow, get your shoes out of her bag.
That'll keep you warm.
Oh,
Yeah.
she put shoes on for the first time in the whole campaign.
Wow.
It's cold.
You're right, it is cold.
Cool. So now that we've established it's cold, you guys walk through. You'll walk through the gate.
Where do we come out? And
It's like in a tree. So the Jorvik is like, it's on this cliffside, kind of like where y'all's house is, except it's a more developed like town.
Okay.
Wow.
Now you'll always remember, she touched the tree.
If you do that, it'll mentally
Yeah,
check,
yeah.
you know?
You're big.
Yeah.
You're big.
All right, so
You ever touch a tree at Fort Erie, just in case.
Fuck. No, I didn't.
Wow.
Fucking damn it. Someone remind Sage, every time we go anywhere new,
Touch a
touch a
tree.
fucking tree.
Touch the tree.
Come on.
I've been there twice. Huh?
Not your
It's not new.
So
So we're in Jorvik and she touched her
Thanks,
tree.
guys.
It is
Yeah.
snowing as we've established. It's cold as we've
Yes.
established.
Hey, by the way, because it's cold.
There is, yeah, there is
Wrapped
a,
around my
Aw.
little heater kind of blanket over the wings.
there are, you're pretty much just downhill slightly from where like the gates of the town is. And as usual, we'll say it took you guys a little bit of the day traveling. So it's probably, we'll say getting closer to nighttime. Maybe at this point it's like sun setting. So the sky is kind of that orange color across the sea. Because it's like the western port of Morrowgast, so it's like the sunset's right behind Morrowgast, Jorvik. So it's kind of a really pretty view actually, because you're walking. It's almost like the first time they walk through Narnia. You know, like you step out and it's like snow, and it's really pretty. And just on the outside of your vision, you see this small little town with that orange background. Zinro's been here a bunch. He lived
I
here.
thought we were all here.
Yes, but he's like, he has experience in
Oh, okay.
Jorvik, like he lived here for a short time, so. But from here, I don't think you guys are doing anything, right? Like y'all are just taking this as a pit stop to go
Yes.
farther north?
Yeah, we going right away. Everyone okay to go? Keep going?
We have to,
Yeah, Windwalker Dragon.
we have to check on the horse that we dropped off many moons ago.
We don't actually.
You see, the thing about Jorvik is some of the sights are good to see. We're in a hurry.
So we're okay with the Windwalker.
Yes. I don't wanna think about the horse. So are we doing Windwalker Dragon?
How far
We have
away
your- we have
is
your boat.
Dredgeloss?
We have your boat.
I'm not
Do you want to say spell slots in case we have to find somebody when we're there?
Um,
You're folding
And then
boat.
let's say,
Are you taking the boat?
yeah, if we take the
It'll take a
boat.
long time from the boat.
Oh, okay.
It'll take a long, so I know it's not that close, but if you remember, taking the boat from Illyria down to Athos Beach took like 6 months.
Yeah.
So by water travel, it's way slower than if you guys were by land.
So
Um,
how long would it take with Windwalk? 'Cause Windwalk only lasts, I mean, it lasts a
No,
while,
that's a
but.
while. You can use it for.
actually, it wouldn't be that long. I forgot. If you pull up the map, it's actually really close.
You
Well,
turn
to get to the
cloud.
actual island.
So it's kind of hard to show, but like
Yeah.
there's Jorvik,
8 hours.
and then there's Dredgel's so it's
Yeah.
really not far. at all.
Like with her water powers, wouldn't we be able to boost it as well?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I thought it was farther down the continent, but it's like right up there at the tippy top.
So how long
So
do you think it'd take to get the red boat?
probably a week.
Yeah, even then I would think it'd take at least a few days.
Yeah, probably about a week. I mean, it's icy water, so you have to like.
This is, we have to think about the
Break through it.
message that we saw with Bradbury and Orion too. It was,
You know?
We're doing this now.
And
I
also-
thought he
You don't
announced
have to
it
think about
today.
it.
Oh.
And also,
It's best if you just leave things be.
yeah.
Alright, well,
Also,
Don't rock
you
the
told your
boat, as
dad
they
3
say.
days.
a few days.
Don't rock it,
We
baby.
would say a few days later, fine.
What's
No
the
fine.
When, yes, so you can keep it going for 8 hours and.
You travel at 300 feet
Per 6
for
seconds.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do that?
Okay, holy shit.
So you guys all turn into little fart clouds.
And we go.
And you
The
zoom.
thing is, we're
Yeah.
super quick.
So yeah, it'll take you a matter of probably 2 or 3 hours to get there at that speed, 300 feet per per turn.
Yeah.
Where are you trying to land? So if anyone pulls up the map, you can see there's multiple islands. The main island has a huge volcano on it.
There was
You-
a house that I remember that we
What do you
went.
guys
You
do?
guys also
When you get
left
to it,
the book with him,
Yeah.
so you don't have the coordinates of where the.
But we can do locate.
Well, she
Well,
left,
I did?
she wrote down the last.
I wrote down the last
Yeah,
coordinates.
but I'm saying you don't have the book with you. I'm not saying that you didn't write it down. You just don't have
Okay.
the book. So if it's been moved or anything, you don't
Yeah.
know
But we
because you
can
left it
locate
with.
it, 'cause-
You can also message for that, get the coordinates.
And I'm keeping track of the spells on this. Just so you know.
Oh.
Oh, I was looking there.
So,
As you
we'll
should
just go to the
always be
last-
doing.
No, I know, I'm just.
Wherever that
I know I'm
coordinate was
using
been
a
on the
lot.
last node.
That was on the main island of the volcano. It was just at the base of the volcano, if you
Okay.
remember, because you used almost help to ride the wave. Like
Yeah.
you took she got him to make a wave to kill the lava flow, which allowed you to make a very easy rescue. Relatively easy rescue.
There was like houses down there and stuff down there,
There was a small little settlement.
right? Okay.
There was like
So
four, there was like
go
4
there.
There
buildings.
was.
There wasn't houses, but there were like 4 buildings that.
So yeah, go down to that.
And start from there.
Cool. So you get back to this familiar spot. It's been deserted. There's no people here. But you see where the building that you guys they were all made of ice, if you remember. And the building, the roof of one was shattered. And the rest of the building seemed there, but sort of
So
uninhabited. Yeah.
take a minute to turn back into silence.
Yeah. So you guys turn back into your peeps.
Mhm.
After you see Silex do it, you guys all follow in turn because you can't communicate in this form. So
We can go in and out of it though, right? For 8 hours, we can keep turn back into it.
Let me triple check that it's not
So I know
constant.
that, well, it's not.
well, even if it is, as long as you're not doing
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, it's constant, yes, up to 8 hours. So we still have a few hours if we need to visit.
Start searching.
Yeah.
So I'll cast locate object to see if I can find it.
Does that cancel your, is that the concentration?
Oh, will
Probably
that make the
does.
spell?
I
Yeah,
can
that
see
would be
what
on.
Or you could ask.
Yeah, so why
Or
don't,
just ask his dad what the coordinates are on the book. And then
Yeah.
we could.
Or I mean, you can look at the.
Yeah, I mean, I.
Yeah, when
wrote
I-
down the
Go
coordinates,
to
I just
the
wanna try
most
to.
known location.
yeah, so let's go there.
Map out.
So when you look at you guys, yeah, you get the little like metal thing, and you're like,
Yeah.
the
I like to think I got really good at that over the years.
yeah, you'd probably be pretty good. You all come to this jaw-dropping realization that
Is it a volcano?
It's in the volcano?
that's what it looks like. The coordinates are, you look at this and you look where you are, you look over at the volcano, and then you look back, and then you do the calculations again, and then you look back down at where you
That's
are.
roughly like half a
How
mile.
did it end up in there?
Hey,
Yeah,
you can turn
volcano.
into a fire thing, right? Can
Yeah.
you swim through lava?
We can try.
Is
Back.
it an active volcano?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
Can you
look
not tell by
for-
my awesome
Let's
map?
test it out somewhere.
Let's look
Dive.
for.
I put
let's
lava
look
on
for
the
top.
map,
If it's
baby.
in there, someone may have dropped it at the top, but someone also might be, there might be caverns underneath the top. So,
It might be the safest place it should be, surrounded by lava.
Orion can get to that.
How is it, yeah, how is it not destroyed by sitting in lava?
Why didn't he come get it already?
Don't know. Lots of questions that need to be answered.
I don't know.
Is there
You
any tunnels that we can see at the base of this volcano?
No,
Cool.
Right, a perception check, just no.
there's just no tunnels. I mean, you could.
It's like in lava.
Yeah, I mean, like the base of the volcano, it has like a pool of lava around it.
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn into a fire elemental and go towards the pool of lava and see if I can like navigate it without getting hurt.
Like
Yeah.
step, like wade through the
Well,
lava.
Yeah, like we're just gonna test it before we go.
Pinky toe first.
Yeah.
To the top of this thing.
Oh, yeah,
Cave
like,
in.
We're
We're gonna make a hike.
you know, immunities and all
I
that.
think it was
I'm immune to
going
fire.
for, I'm not there.
I mean, yeah.
That doesn't mean it's gonna be easy to do, but I'm immune to it and. Oh.
What?
Well, I can't do locate object and
Well, shit.
wild shape at the same time right now.
Locate object.
Well, I mean, we know
Yeah,
it's in
but
there,
I
we just need to
can't.
be able to get in there at the moment. Let's just see
Yeah.
if we can get in there in some form of fashion.
okay, so like I said, there's a volcano, a mountain.
Mhm.
Around it is like a pool of lava.
Yes,
The top, obviously, squirt lava.
yes.
Where are you trying to go?
I would like to go up to the pooling lava and
Okay.
just see if I can touch it without hurting myself.
You can.
Right.
Swim.
Do you wanna see if you can
How
find
do
an
you
entrance
communicate to
for
us
us?
that
Or,
you're good?
How about you? I mean, I figure with her standing in it, you know, we're like, okay.
I'll do a
she's
little
good.
dance, so you guys know we're fine.
So why can't she communicate with
She
you?
does have a 6 intelligence, so that would.
No,
Yeah.
I still have my stuff.
I was talking about, right?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, see.
Why can't she communicate with you because you're a fire elemental, you can understand?
she would speak in infernal, or not infernal, feral.
Yeah. I can't talk at all.
But you can understand her?
Yeah, but she can't communicate with me if I'm in the volcano.
Sarah, haven't you been learning four
I was
languages?
about to say that,
Hold on.
Sarah, do you have a linguist?
Or
I know some languages.
I could, yeah, I
Do you know
have it,
Draconic?
I have it,
Do you know Draconic?
I have it.
She can understand,
I have
she can
it.
understand all languages.
I
spoken
I can
language.
speak and understand all languages.
Yeah, where you been?
Mark-
Where
Mark
have
shit.
you been? Okay.
But we haven't needed it.
She's been facing a book. What do you mean? That's how she knows.
Alright, so.
Okay.
Tell me what to do.
I'd like to hear you speak Infernal.
Definitely cannot speak.
No, I'd like to hear
No,
you
that's
speak
fine.
Infernal.
Right.
I,
But what is it?
This is a requirement. for
this
me.
is just how you want it to sound.
Hey, what am I doing?
Well, you have to speak in pearl back.
I'm shouting infernal. I'm in.
That kind of sounds calm.
I feel
Yeah,
like-
so
I feel
so
like
you
it would
understand
sound
that. The rest of you here, that's what you hear back from Vitra, and then what do you tell her?
Oh, please, we have to do this for now on.
Okay, so you have to tell me where the object or directions, right?
Translator.
Right, I'm the translator of
Okay,
papers and
so
We should be
letters.
setting in stage alone, but I
Okay.
appreciate we can all get in there, to
No,
find a way
I
to
thought
get
we
in
were just
there.
testing
How we do
it
that
first.
with
Yeah, that's the whole reason she's in this, right, is so that she can go in there.
Alright, yes, this is very dangerous,
So what do you want?
a way to us all to get in there,
So what is Sage doing? Finding
Finding
a
a
way?
way.
Finding a way,
that's
okay.
what I would, it's not like
Okay.
to send Sage by herself.
Okay, yes, okay, so we can do that first before you identify, or before you locate object. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm gonna ask, what do you see in there?
You're not inside of it.
In the volcano.
She's on top.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wait, dive in.
She just tested to see if she could touch it without
She's
it
still gotta
burning.
go up the mountain
Okay,
I can
and
fly.
jump it
I can fly, so we're okay.
as a.
okay, so you're at the very top,
Jet boots.
Yeah,
so at the very top?
I'll go to the top.
Okay, go to the top.
I don't think you can fly as a fireman.
Yes, I can. The air and the fire can.
I don't
No, air can.
I don't think you can.
Air hovers.
Hold on, let me check.
I'll see if some
Making
shamans will
jet
be talking
engine
to each other from
flames.
top to bottom.
I don't know what to do.
You do.
I can speak the language, but I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
to do.
don't see any fly
I don't have a
movements
bird
here.
anymore, I can't fly, so.
Where you are.
Oh, no, I can squeeze into small.
That's exactly the same as
Sorry.
flying. You're right.
Sorry,
Those are
sorry.
So
Okay,
she
well, I'm
turns into
gonna
a
climb
mist,
then.
goes up to the top.
Alright, we'll have fun climbing.
Okay.
Are you trying to dive under? I'm just trying to figure out, are you trying to dive under the lava or are you trying to climb up the
I
mountain?
can't get, I'm assuming I can't get into it from underneath, so
I
I'm
don't
going to.
know. I'm just asking what you're trying to do.
I was trying to get to the top so that I could start
Then
looking
yeah,
at
you
her way
kind of like
Would
in.
you mind
crawl up.
taking me up so that I can communicate with Sage? I can't yell up there. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay. I'm gonna sit on top of Bree's back and
Oh,
we're gonna.
I don't
fly
think
all
Cree's
the-
big enough for you to sit on his
You're
back.
gonna piggyback.
Oh, the piggyback?
Oh, you know, I'm just
I
kidding.
think you have to be careful. I think she has to
I'll
like, or he has to
carry
like talon you.
Oh, that's fine, 'cause
Yeah, because
No, I can
you're too.
carry.
Either way, I just think you're too big to be on his
that
back.
is totally fine. I don't mind however you get me up there,
Freeze
like
middle.
I'm cool, as
You're
long as
gonna
I can.
Nazi, right? You can really way.
It's not bad. It's just like Vitra's bigger than you.
I just
so-
wanna be able to.
I'm 5'4".
You're stocky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
thick,
thick boy.
thick boy.
he's a thick board.
But you made a good point. I mean, I can't yell at her from the top of a volcano, so I need to be up there with her.
Okay. Cool. It's real fucking hot for you guys.
Hey, it was pretty cold before, so.
Yeah.
It's pretty cold before.
Isn't that weird? As you guys hover up as close as you can to the fire elemental to here, probably about 30 feet away, I'm guessing, so you don't take any sort of fire damage from her.
Yeah, we don't do that.
As you're just up here, the air is really hot, and every turn, so every 6 seconds you're up here, you're gonna take fire damage.
I don't know, I get that.
Two fire, it's not a lot, but you take 2 fire damage for every 6 seconds you're up here.
Okay.
But it takes you probably speed of 50 climbing, it's still 50. About 200 feet. So I'd say it'd take you about 4 turns to get up to the top of the volcano. So you guys would take 8 damage of fire.
Can I just wait until she gets to the top and then I fly up there so I don't have to just get damaged, think smart, not hard?
Can we go up at the same?
I don't think you would know you were getting damaged until you were there. So I mean,
Like hit back up for at least a second?
you could, yeah. If it gets hot, you can kind of fly away,
Yeah, I'd be like.
wait for her to get to the top, and then go back. Yeah, totally.
Let's do that.
So
Again, think smart.
To try to
As
avoid.
smart as
Yeah.
they. But
tweet.
Tweet. Okay, so you're there. Okay, so I'm basically gonna say like, so the point is for you to find a way for maybe all of us to get into the volcano somehow without getting damaged.
Okay, I'll do it. How I hear
Yeah. Okay.
Your turn.
I probably should have been looking for that as I was climbing.
I need you to turn on the subtitles.
But I like watching you dub.
Just a little delayed.
Yeah, look around.
Okay, so can I look around, investigate, see if there's a way to get everybody in around here?
Yeah, we'll say you've been doing that the whole way up.
Okay.
Make an investigation
Shade.
check.
Thank you, Shade.
There's no stairs up Mordor.
There was never stairs.
I think the Eagles just taking it.
Oh,
I will
11?
literally argue that forever.
11?
11 is not good enough to find any sort of way in.
Which side of the argument was it? You should have.
No.
Okay.
Did I see anything as I flew up?
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Can I?
Have you ever opened the oven door when it was 400? You're like, when was the last time you?
Can I also try to get?
You can help it if you're helping. It's advantage.
Okay.
You don't need to roll. You helping gives.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna help you so you get advantage on your roll.
Now you and I are just chilling at the bottom. We're not getting carried.
No, I'm 12.
So
Shit.
That's with advantage.
I get a +0 because I have no intelligence.
That's a wisdom for the perception.
Oh, he has an investigation.
Or is
Yeah, he
it-
said
Said
investigation.
investigation.
Okay, I didn't know,
Because I have a +0 in my intelligence also.
I had a plus.
I would
2.
prefer perception. Can I do perception?
Sure.
I have a
Really?
Plus 2.
Yeah, you're not on it. You're like trying to see.
Then
it's an
very wise.
Okay. So as this flaming elemental climbs up the side of this mountain really quickly, you notice that as it does, it's like scurrying up, and you notice that a piece of the rock that falls down, like falls through a piece of the side of the volcano, and you don't see it continue falling. It just like falls through it down below where the elemental.
So I'm gonna tell her.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna basically say that there's
Hey,
a
I
place.
didn't you don't even know it yet. You're being totally.
I'll tell you what. she's
Oh, okay,
looking for.
yeah.
Missy. Let's go back to this. Tell her.
And action.
Rock went through.
We went back for that.
It went through what? The volcano?
Yeah.
As
Thank
if-
you.
Okay, so what I'm gonna try and communicate in Infernal is Cree saw a rock fall through the volcano. Like it just like fell through.
Oh, well, yeah.
Point out where.
Oh, where was it? Cree, damn it.
And you hear
That was effective.
some random shit like
There.
Wrong dialect.
Right
Ooh,
there.
I almost got
Right,
it.
woo, right there.
I will proceed.
yeah. Fair enough. You went to Blah, and as you arrive, you like start to feel onto the rock as you've been climbing, and you don't have feet, but a piece of your like being like goes through this illusory piece of the mountainside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
You can't. You're a fire element.
Yeah. So we see like part of it, this body go through.
Yeah, you
So
see her
I-
little like tail flame start to lose visibility
Good
inside
job,
the
Cree.
hole.
Yeah. I'll stick my elemental.
Yeah.
See.
Stick your head through.
Yeah.
It is a cave-like tunnel.
Who's a cave?
Zero and I are just sitting in the ice, just we're playing cards.
I'm gonna turn to Cree and say,
We're high-level beings.
Tic-tac-toeing in the
oh,
sand.
so Cree, that Sage
Fuck me, Zero. How did you
found a tunnel.
know?
Sage found a tunnel inside of there.
I'm shaking back and forth, looking up.
Should we go tell everybody, or should we
Best of 7.
explore,
You've only passed 40, dude. All
or
right.
should we explore with Sage? Should we let Sage explore a little bit first?
So based on how close she is, probably if we were in her area, we'd be getting like heat damage, right? Would we, or is that?
I mean, you can hear people from farther than 30 feet away, right? So like you're only gonna get that heat damage if you're like above the lava flow, which
Which we are.
only is probably like 20 feet away from the volcano. So you're far enough away that you can communicate, but if you were trying to get like real
Well,
close,
like if we were to go to her in the cave that she's pointing out, we would be in
You would
that
be.
threshold of fire damage, right?
you don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
You will be all the way up to the cave. You don't know if the cave is hot or cold inside.
Okay, so what, so.
I can't really ask her that because.
No, that's fine. So
she's
what I'm gonna tell
constantly
you
hot.
is, okay, let's get close to figure out when it's too hot, if we can even get in. And so I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm
test
down.
it to see, like, as
Are we
I
gonna try and go through?
see if we can get in.
Yeah.
So it's like walking through coals. It's like hot, 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 hot. And as soon as you break the threshold of the like cave side, it's surprisingly cold. You get inside the cave and it's like the floor and the walls are like iced, and it's not hot at all. Really, really strange temperature mechanics.
Let's get everybody.
Yeah, okay. So I assume that
I'm looking
Miss,
up.
Miss, furniture seller is inside.
Furniture
You're fine.
seller.
Yeah, I guess I'll wait. Okay,
Sorry.
so we went through, right? I assume that since you stuck your head in, you saw us go through, I'm gonna tell you to stay here. We are gonna go get, I guess like, well, do we need to both go? Do you wanna go?
I guess it's for the year.
Yeah, you can leave me here, you can leave me and Sage here. Okay, so me and you are gonna stay here. Preet is gonna go and tell the rest, and maybe bring each person up who can't fly. I don't think anyone can fly except Rain, so. Sound okay?
Oh, why didn't you say that?
Alright,
You don't have to be a fire elemental anymore.
Yeah,
we
we're
are
having a great time.
Cool. So you guys grab everyone and get them into the base of this tunnel. And again, just like I explained to Vitra and Cree, all of you get inside and it's hot, and you break that threshold and it's like maybe 30 degrees. It is instantly frigid and cold. There's like ice buildup on the, like not fully ice, but it's like there's that frost crunch of the dirt as you guys walk through. You can see the side and like the top of the walls are slightly iced over, and the cave itself has this illuminated orange glow of the magma from the center of the volcano. But this tunnel seems to go into the heart of the volcano.
Does anybody wanna
You know
locate?
what,
I'll pass them.
that was real cool, you know, Sonic should pull off his eye patch and activate the gem of trucy. Forgot I had this the whole time.
Yeah, as soon as you do that,
My
as soon as you do that,
fucking
the cave entrance becomes completely open.
Like cinematic, cinematic.
Adam, you just
The
been
entire
Indiana
building.
speaking this
That
insane
was-
language.
That was great. That was fucking great.
With all due
This is
respect,
permanent.
you've been a really intense team of battleships.
He fucking, I don't know how, but he fucking won, alright?
He has an eye of
Okay.
true seeing, and he still couldn't beat him in battleships.
He's also had like a whole year in actual battle.
Yeah, I don't know, it's annoying, alright.
Time sketch.
So we'll make our way down the tunnels and I'll look for traps with my gem of truth.
Yeah, so as you guys get into this tunnel, that's where we're gonna call it
Oh,
session.
Okay.
Before we go deeper in, but that's where we'll
That's
cut
what
it
you're
off
gonna
this
have
week.
the title of the episode.
This is Infernal.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, cool.
That was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Trey.
Bye, Trey.
Bye, tree.
Bye.
That's